Bring it back. Bring it. Keep it back. Look at all this charges. Bring it. Bring it. Look at all this charges. Bring it back up, 'cause it's lit. Keep it cool, eyes cold for the shit. 'Cause I'm ballin'. Look at all these chicks. Whip it up, all these rocks on my wrist. Bring it back. Bring it. Look at all this childish. Bring it back. Bring it. Keep it back. Look at all this childish. Bring it. Bring it. Look at all this childish. Bring it. Keep it back. Look at all this childish. Bring it. Look at all this childish. Bring it.
Now move your body, it's just a beat.
Welcome back, everybody. It is season 4 of T-esports Championship. My name is Amy's House, your host for this tournament, and we are back this week. We are back tonight with League of Legends. We are tonight entering round 5. We have 3 matchups coming up, which 2 will be tonight and 1 will be tomorrow. And here we take a look at the leaderboard for the Swiss. We have the teams in the beautiful magenta color here that have secured their spot in the playoffs, and we have many still waiting to see if they will pass. We have tonight playing Entropic and Bobber Gaming, and the second matchup will be Harmony and Mouth Breathers. Tomorrow, Harmony and Team 10 Euro deal, and tomorrow we have another matchup, last of the round 5 of the Swiss for League of Legends. That's it. And Wednesday we are already in the playoffs. We are going strong, and I can't wait to see which teams are going to pass from today and tomorrow. Fulfill that beautiful pink list up here on the top of the bracket, and yeah, I'm very excited. Your casters will be again Scarf and Lucho as always. I can't wait to hear their analysis, especially on the draft, so can't wait. But jump into the first matchup, start with the last round of the Swiss for League of Legends, and see who else is going to get a chance to go into the playoffs, and then subsequently get a chance to get to the finals, which are going to be happening in the Land Grand Finals in Budapest, Hungary in November, and the prize pool is 30,000 euros for League of Legends. Pretty amazing. Well, good luck to everybody, and let's go for a short break and back with draft for match number 1.
hello. We are back. My name's Lucho. With me is, of course, Scarf. You've been watching us for the entirety of the T-esports Championship here at the League of Legends discipline. We got an interesting match here ahead of us. It's going to be Barber Gaming versus Entropic. And already we kind of just immediately jumped into the champ select. So Entropic starting on that blue side, and on the other side is going to be Bobber with the red side. So we'll see what the picks kind of end up being. We've seen a lot of just Rumble, Orianna bans, those pesky handshakes in the jungle. Kiana being banned this early on is quite interesting, especially because, like, yeah, Orianna, something you would expect.
Yep.
We talked about how good assassins are in this meta, especially in the jungle. But the thing that kind of has me wondering is, I don't feel like we see that many people kind of willing to pull it off, to have the confidence of just, okay, you know what, I'm going to take over the game. I don't really care.
Yep.
So Kiana being banned here, I feel like is a bit of a sign of respect for Savero, in this case, to kind of stop him from getting that Kiana. Trundle, again, also really good versus tanks. I think, is this the first one?
The first in Arban?
Yeah, she
well,
was always picked in the game.
Yeah,
one.
she has been first picked quite a lot, so I think she is very much in the meta currently. Yeah, Orianna makes sense, but like you said, I feel like AD assassins are very strong in the jungle currently. So yeah, I'm not sure why we don't see it more often. I think we saw like one Kiana game or something like that. I feel like Bruiser is just so safe and so consistent, I would say. So yeah, we'll probably see Wukong ban, pretty good. So all that remains are Jarvan.
Rumble is open for B1.
Yeah. Sion, the champion that is currently dominating Worlds.
Yeah, but
And we'll see what they pick into. Will they go for an aggressive counter that would maybe make a strong side top lane, or something like Xante that just goes even, or maybe a bit stronger in the lane and just scales as good as Sion? Because I think Sion currently is probably the strongest weak side top laner. And just scales so well. He's so tanky, and yeah, they pretty much picked the counter, but Aatrox as well, I think. Not only just stomps into Sion, the movable tank, but also scales pretty well, and I think outperforms even Sion in the late game in the fights.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Aatroxes lately, especially just kind of tanking everything, healing Sundered Sky in their ultimate. One pick, all they need to keep it going. So, does make sense, as you've said, really good matchup into Sion as well. Xin is going to be the jungler here for Savero. We'll see what the other side here decides to pick. Viego is open, but do you really want somebody that can kind of, at the very least, attempt to blow somebody up? Because I feel like as a Viego, that's kind of rough to do against an Aatrox and a Xin.
Yeah, Jax is very interesting here, just a direct counter pick to Xin. I don't know, Viego, just by judging these two first picks, you don't want really someone that is squishy and is melee so much. I feel like maybe Jarvan is something that can both engage and disengage immediately after, engage with the ulti and just EQ out, because Aatrox Xin just dominate those melee fights. But Jax is a direct counter pick to Xin. It's so easy to play. Whenever he turns on the Q, you just spin the lamp and you have a pretty easy time. Also against the Aatrox, you can just jump on his face, and it's so hard for him to hit those critical points with his Qs. And guys are just very nice
Strong champion.
power scaling machine, the hyper carry.
Also, a lot of mixed damage on this team already. Sion being, of course, mainly kind of AD, but Jax builds Zonia, the W is AP. Kai'Sa, on the other hand, also quite full of AP herself. So this is already something that I feel like they kind of really need to consider. Xayah, the final pick. It's the 2019 Worlds handshake. It's the Xayah Kai'Sa bot lane. But no support, really, for either of them, and Nico seems to be the one they're kind of thinking of banning now for the first rotation.
Yeah, they could ban Rakan, because, of course, Bobber on the red side will have the next pick. So I feel like it would round up their comp pretty nicely if they just pair up that Xayah with Rakan, of course. Of course, she's much stronger with a synergy.
Yeah. Absolutely correct. But do you take care of Nautilus now? What's gonna be the other pick
Yeah,
here that we
I
see?
would say a pretty good ban because I don't think they have that strong of a tool to deal with Zaya. I feel like just based of these three champs, Poppy has been banned. Maybe they pick the Nautilus themselves, or I don't know what would be better. Maybe a Rel or something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, Poppy makes sense. You have the Xin, you have the Aatrox, like so. But yeah, of course, into the Xin it's so easy
Yeah, absolutely.
to play. Very strong counter picks. So we'll see. Alistar now.
Okay, Nautilus left
curious.
open.
Yeah, I'm curious what they will pick now.
Yeah, I think they want to handshake it, honestly. I think they're like, okay, if you leave Nautilus open for us, we're going to pick him 100%. So they're forcing them to kind of pick Nautilus with Zaya, which also, I don't, like, it is a strong combo, because Nautilus can just lock you down for like 4 seconds, and then, oh, here comes the root, and by that time, I feel like most of the cooldowns do come back, but Rel, you talked about it, probably the only other pick that kind of makes sense. So Nautilus, I believe, is probably going to be the support pick here.
Yeah, it makes sense after banning Poppy. Poppy is a very good pick into Rel, so they just remove it. But yeah, I don't know. Besides Nautilus, what is there? I feel like Leona would be better in lane, maybe against Rel, but later on in the game, I don't know how you kill this Zaya. I feel like Nautilus ult will be such a powerful tool. They pick the mid laner. Okay, now we'll see the support. Our mid laner is just going to head and Shaco and Talia Rise. I mean, he's open and he's very strong currently. It would be pretty funny because I feel like it's such an often matchup currently now in pro scene.
Yeah, I would actually maybe even like a Syndra, potentially, if it's not banned. It isn't. Just because, like, of the amount of kind of engage they have, it feels like almost everybody's going to jump on your face, so Syndra having that E, I think, would be quite good. Also, if you want to match the long range and the artillery of Talia, there's...
Okay,
there we go. There's also the Hui option, if you kind of want to opt into that, so that wouldn't really be that out of place as well.
I think, I don't know how long that ago it was, I think quite long, but they changed Syndra that she's weaker in the early game and stronger in the late game. And after that, I feel like in competitive we haven't seen her played that much because of how she weak is in lane. But yeah, Veigar is very funny. He's actually the same, exactly what I just described, something very weak in the early game and very strong in the late game. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You can completely just trap Kai'Sa, of course. She can't R out of the cage.
Jax goes in.
It's completely mobile. Yeah, Jax with his leap can't escape the cage. So I think this is very nice, and especially because of how short range they are. Maybe everybody except the Talia could deal fine with against Veigar, but everybody else is just so short ranged. They will just be so close into your front line that I feel like Veigar is actually a very nice pick here.
Not to mention, I feel like, of course, Jax is going to be getting Zhonya's. I also feel like that this game specifically, Kai'Sa should be going Zhonya's as well. Might even have to force Talia on Zhonya's as well, because the amount of burst that Veigar provides late game, you either Zhonya's or you die.
Yep.
So that's going to kind of force 3 champions here to basically like mandatory run an item. So I think that's also quite good. And of course, maybe if it's on cooldown, if they get correct timings, they could potentially blow somebody up. But it's quite an interesting pick. I am an enjoyer.
Yeah, me as well. With the with the spellbook, quite a classic there. Conquer on the Zaya, very interesting. I think it's fine because of how tanky they are. I feel like it would be maybe hard to stack up the little tempo late game because of how passive you have to play. I don't feel like she can consistently basic attack because every time she walks up later on in the fights, there's a danger of Talia jumping in her face. The Nautilus are just so much threats going on.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we'll see. And now this Talia is also pretty gankable. I feel like with any other mage, maybe an Ahri or a Syndra that don't have really that just straightforward hard CC, if Zin tries to gank, she can just E towards him and he can't dash on her face. But now Veigar can lock her in the cage, and Zin in the meantime can just walk through the rocks. He doesn't have to dash immediately because of how long the cage lasts. The immediate early game prio hits the Q, +1 already with the stacks.
GG lane 1.
Yeah, mind equals controlled.
But yeah, this bot lane is something I'm personally quite curious about. Like, of course, Kai'Sa not really having the range that Xayah has, but Xayah also isn't really that, like, high-ranged, I suppose. So, these brawls are going to be quite interesting. Here comes the hook. She's still level 1, so she can't really pull those feathers back. So I feel like Kai'Sa at level 1 is where you kind of want to take control of the lane. And of course, Danik here has been good at doing so. Trading going not really that good here for Veigar. Lost like around half HP already.
Yeah, neither for Pirka, and I feel like after level 3, I think Bobber Gaming's bot lane is a bit better. I feel like in those melees, Rel can dish out a bit more than the Nautilus can, and Xayah, when she stacks those feathers, is a threat. And now just go all in. I feel like Danik is forced to maybe flash out after the heal, but no, it's a heal for a heal actually. Again, also dishing out quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, the Conqueror here has been stacked. Not really the best position for Yen. If the feathers come back, there we go. Doesn't have to be a flash wasted. Yen, I think he was playing with fire there. Shouldn't have walked up that confidently.
Yep, I agree completely. Even though the trade was so even, they were doing nicely. It's so easily avoided.
Yep.
Like, you can see the feathers on the floor, you can play around it pretty easily. So yeah, a big mistake. Forcing his flash out, of course, also the HP is pretty much gone, and now he could be in a bit of a pickle. And let's remember, he does have barrier, but Rel Q does break shields, so that's also a pretty huge part of the Rel.
Yeah.
And is also why I think she's pretty good into Nautilus, because she can just break his double
even with
shield.
Kai'Sa, with the ultimate.
Yep.
Makes sense. Still though, top lane going kind of...
-1 on the cannon.
Yeah. But it's going kind of like you would expect, of course. It's Aatrox just beating Sion down. Not like he can really do anything before he gets like Bramble and probably a Chain Vest.
Yeah, and Yen actually resetted here and lost an entire wave. So that's pretty unfortunate. -160 gold on Sisyphus, but also the XP lead is going to be troublesome, I feel like.
Yeah, Savera, I think, wanted to land that spear, potentially. Still, no such thing shall be happening. Dalia walked away out of this one, because even the Rel was hovering there, so 3-on-1, I don't really think that's a fight you want to take. Does still have the flash, so I think that all ended up kind of being okay. Nautilus even now on those roam timers. Seems like he kind of ended up leaving Kai'Sa alone. Will be spotted by the ward though. He's still gonna pull the trigger here, looking for that hook. No such thing shall be found. Pirka will not commit to re-engage, which I think is fair. I'm gonna see was still just beating Robocop down. What do you even do in this matchup? Feels like they're just bonking each other slowly. That's going to be a plate, but it's going to be a tower shot that Agresivo ends up taking. But I feel like for the goal, it was just worth. There's still a biscuit in his inventory.
Yeah, and Robocop is pretty low on mana as well, so no threat really. And of course, the matchup is also good for Aatrox. Anytime Sion charges his Q, you can either dash out, you can just immediately cancel it with your Q. And obviously, if he goes for all-in, you are stronger. Although he doesn't have Conquer, he did match the Grasp for scaling, but still.
Yep. Also, Xayah now with the Conquer is going to have a lot more AD in these trades. Also backed into 2 longswords instead of 1. So once it does get stacked, I feel like it's going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Still though, Danik not really giving up. Still waiting for these opportunities. Both heals will be up now if they do decide to kind of scrap. There we go. That's going to be a hook. Sisyphus did have to use barrier. That is now quite rough as the junglers arrived as well. Savera now will be stunned, but no further inquiry.
Yep.
You know, they
Pirka-
don't really want to take these fights. It's 0-0 at 6 minutes. I think almost for the entire week, that was probably the slowest
Yeah, I know.
game like we've possibly ever seen.
Yeah, I would say that with strong confidence. By far the slowest game we have watched in this tournament. But yeah, Betray there. Pirka is the Q, and now they go for the all-in. He does have his flash, but opts to all-in actually. Does flash out now and lives first blood for Savero. Volors ulting it to the turret, does grab the kill on Pirka, but gets traded back by Sisyphec, and now this is such a bad fight for Team Entropic, 1 for 4, and yeah, 2 kills on Zin, 1 on Veigar, 1 on Zaya, perfect. I feel like distribution of kills, and Yan was already pretty behind, and now it's even more.
Yeah, I feel like Entropic were kind of waiting for stuff to happen. Hold on, I gotta see what did pop that ulti to kind of sidestep. Of course, the move speed is always gonna be quite good. He did TP into lane, so he is playing quite aggressive for it now. Will be locked down. Slowly moving, the W will land onto Robocop, but I don't really think they're going to be chasing him for much longer, as he is just going to out-sustain them in these fights. But here comes Yen now.
Yeah, he does have flash, so I feel like he will live, does get rooted. I don't feel like Models can hook from this angle. Danik being 1 HP, he doesn't have any summoners. Yen being level 5, he does have his, but Aggressiva, yeah, still in a world of pain. Force flash
Not enough time, though, for Sisyphec to kind of arrive here through the river to W now. Immediately use channeling, but still gets rooted. No Hex Flash shall be found. Shift jumping onto Aggressiva, even popping that ulti 1 for 1. It seems like it's gonna be that for quite some time. Once again, Shift jumping, getting rid of Sisyphec, but it's gonna be the 3, the Steph Curry from downtown, that ends up taking him down as well. And that ended up being, I feel like
2 for 3.
Yeah, that's quite okay here for both teams, I feel like, especially because you kind of want to slow Bobbert gaming down a bit.
Yeah,
Get
but
some
now
kills off your own. Even Pirka.
did die there, so actually it's an equal trade in this skirmish. All of the kills of Team Entropic are on Volors, so he's going to be very important now for his team.
I just want to say, I think it's quite funny that, like, literally 2 minutes ago I said, like, oh yeah, this is the slowest game, and now it's 11 kills in 8 minutes.
In one fight, 5 people died, and
El Clasico.
in this one, how much was it? 346?
Yeah. My goodness, dude. Zaya 3-1-4 already with that Essence Reaver. On the other side, we see Kaisa becoming melee, just deciding to wield swords. 3 of them, in fact.
Yeah, full Blackfire Torch on Volors. Very nice spike. Also with a tier 2 boots. He's going to be having a chill time. I feel like there's no threat on him for now. Roizen doesn't have any boots, so I don't think he can walk up and cage. We'll have to use flash in those skirmishes.
Yeah. The ADC is on the top lane, just farming away. Pirka also coming back here to kind of aid Sisyphec. Plays a lot of vision here in the rivers, so they're gonna know if basically anything happens. Even gonna use his sweeper to take care of this ward as well, which is quite nice, essentially enabling their jungler to kind of move a bit more freely.
Yeah. Rod of Ages though on Roizen, even when his Veigar is going to take such a long time to get to those strong points, the power spikes.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's okay still, because Veigar is just one of those champions that...
no boots. He's just a sitting duck, everything, every ability connects, and now it's the 5th kill for Volors. Definitely the king of his team currently, and beautifully played by both him and Danik.
Yeah, but as I was saying, I think it's still kind of fine. I think I've seen a lot of those, like, Rod into Seraphs and then into Rabadon, because by that point it's all stacked up. You have a lot of HP, you're basically unkillable, but you dish out the most damage out of anyone because of your passive. So,
yeah, but it is a problem in the meantime now. Here comes the initiative on the bot lane of Team Bobber Gaming. Beautiful hook, connects. Sisyphec does have barrier, but no flash. Nice ulti to dodge out. W doesn't connect, but still Yen picks up the kill. And now Pirka just sitting duck in the middle of 4 members of Entropic. And they find beautiful to picks, and now finally Wars is not the only one with kills on his team.
Yeah, and they also found themselves a gold lead. That's gonna be almost 1,000 gold here in their pockets, slowly just chipping away at people's kind of wrong positionings, they feel like. And especially with how much vision they had in River, I thought he would play it safer.
Yeah, Volar's now forcing the flash of Roizen. He's going to hurt a lot for him for sure. That immobile mage that Veigar is. And yeah, evening out the gold, evening out the kills. Now, it could be anyone's game. Now, Yen did finish his Kraken, so I think finally he is a champion. But yeah, the hook that started it all, even the ultimate of Sisyphek is not enough. They just had so much tools to dish out damage. Maybe if he ulted earlier to dodge the hook.
Yeah, that could have been the escape, absolutely. But yeah, even now, objectives have been treated. Roizen, since he did go Rod, of course, his damage output isn't really going to be the best now. Shift already jumping in, will be stunned by Burka, but I don't really think anything else is going to be happening anytime soon. It does seem like they're all slowly rotating towards Drake, but there's just so much vision here. On the side of Entropic, the only thing that actually isn't warded is the Drake, but we do see Nautilus or Denick in this case actually end up kind of dropping their ward. Moving slowly, will be spotted though, as Kaisa is mowing down those waves, as we're just looking at Aggressivo once again trading quite efficiently rather, not sufficiently, but also quite interesting. That is, yeah. Especially because you're playing into like 2 Conquerors, I feel like Bramble would be quite good wherever you go.
Yeah, I mean, he probably will. Yeah, I don't know what the early MR is for, really, especially with Veigar being the only AP, and I mean the only AP, and him being a Veigar with the Rod of Ages. But yeah, maybe I feel like Hollow Radiance is just a bit
Okay,
better.
Siva's gonna need to play this well. Immediately flashes forward, W connects. The healing is quite good, but it's just the CC that ends up kind of taking him down. I respect the attempt. Immediately goes for the wave. Tries to kind of cancel this dive potentially, but now there's gonna be a lot of plates here, eaten by both Jax and Talia.
Yeah, Wallers is rich. I feel like he has so much money in his pocket. We can just compare him and Roizen. He has so much gold, but that could be the double-edged sword for him, because that will make him the target in these fights. But I feel like how he is playing now is just a perfect playstyle, where he comes in a bit later after the fight has started with his ultimate.
Yep.
He is one of the last members to arrive, but now he is in trouble. Savero beautiful engaged with Burka and Shift. Doesn't have the evade, it seems, but Savero doesn't get killed. He actually escapes, but they still did get a pick off. Roizen trying to escape from this menacing warrior, but here comes Yen with his ultimate dashing at a speed of light, and there is just no escape for the poor mage. 2-2 now on Yen, and I feel like he's slowly coming back into the game.
Yep. Only 600 gold behind now. So not really that much of a difference. Basically, like what, dude? 2 daggers. That's it. But still, with the rotations, it's quite good. Of course, Sion's still chipping away at these towers. That's gonna be the bot tier 1 that ends up being taken for the side of Entropic. Also, a lot of movement on the map. Nautilus once again just going into the river. Jax farming up his topside camps, and of course getting the blue buff onto Talia, who is the most fed member. That's going to be a knock-up here onto Burka as he W's away. Shift just keeps going. Shift doesn't care, and I feel like that genuinely could have been a good angle to kind of punish them. Savera, there we go. That's going to be the re-engage Burka with another stun, but Sisyphek isn't necessarily in a really good position here for the fight now. Does get the root, so the Jax E basically does nothing. Volars, even though he keeps chipping away, it seems like he can't really find a good angle to get rid of the pesky backline. That's gonna be a good W, a good E, but now he's stuck in the cage as Sisyphek. He's gonna bring it back. Still somehow he gets a double kill. Unbelievable stuff. Burka, he will live. Aggressivo with his ulti popped. It ended up being a solid fight overall, I would say, for Bobber more so than for Entropic, as the gold lead has been shrunken down.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe if Yen was in a better position to just dish out damage in that skirmish, Entropic could have taken it by... But Waller's maybe a bit too aggressive because he's the most fed one, but
Yep.
he played it so beautifully in the last second, hitting those Qs on both Roizen and Savero, getting a bounty, I think, on Savero.
I do want to say the silent MVP of the fight was Sizifek. But we'll talk about that a bit later, as we do see once again the re-engage here, as it seems like it's slowly going to be the redemption that ends up popping. Agressivo's still alive, but gets taken out in the end. Robocop will stop the chase, as they kind of got what they asked for, as Sizifek is just mowing away at the towers. I don't really know how much longer he's going to be able to live. Does have the ulti flash and even the barrier, but it seems like he just thinks it's a wait. Okay, never mind.
Oh, he flashed out. So that's something, but I think Waller's, yeah, also flashing, so I don't think that's that worth, but yeah, actually maybe it is, since Sizifek is the most fed damage dealer on Bobber Gaming side. Savero very aggressive here, does go for the dash in, and 2 rocks did stun him, uses the flash, doesn't hit the W, and Waller's picks up his 10th kill of the game.
Yep. Waller's, it feels like he's kind of single-handedly keeping Entropic in the game here, but yeah, I do want to say that Sizifek, I think, was the MVP of the last fight, because he kind of kept Yen out of doing anything.
Yep.
He was just free-firing, trading, and at this point he's much stronger than he is, so he kind of ended up forcing Yen out of the fight, and he was in a better position to kind of move and dish more damage for the side of Bobber. So the silent MVP in this case. But we'll see how the game keeps developing. Veigar with the 2 fiendish codes. Codexes? Is that like the item names are just... Oh my god.
Yeah, but now Robocop does have the Bramble Vest finally. It's already 750 HP. Only on his W passive he has more in the runes. And Bobber Gaming is taking the initiative here. Shift is just stuck. And here comes the cage and there is no escaping. He was just CC chained for so long.
It's Choke Point Gaming.
Yeah.
Bobber just beautifully finding an opportunity that ends up getting them potentially the 3rd Drake here. Sizifek, he might even be able to mow him down. Here comes the ulti. Redemption, not really in range for it, but Waller's, he ended up being stopped here. That's going to be Robocop here with the re-engage. The Q will be stopped. A beautiful route, but here comes the other Redemption, keeping them alive. Here might come the chase of Bobber Gaming. A beautiful flash here from Perka. Yen might not stand a chance. And now Roizen, he keeps finding them. They're all low HP, but it takes so long for Bobber Gaming to commit. Perka now walking up from the top side here, not from the top side, from the upper part of the river, but still though, they will all get locked down, and I feel like this is kind of the power of Veigar that we ended up talking about. Like, you're so tanky, and you can just click 2 buttons and win, but Sizifek ended up playing with fire.
Yeah, and he does found the 0 mana Wallers there. Is the turret enough to kill him? Nope, he does get out, but yeah. Sizifek dying unfortunately, but still so good for Bobber. I feel like Savero in a bit of a pickle. Shift. He does TP out, he TPs immediately after,
my
but Pirka comes in to help. He dashes on the Krogs, and the escape
great
is beautiful.
escape!
Yeah, very nicely played, and he is in 1.6k gold lead on Shift, and overall 1.5k for Bobber, which is nice, but definitely not game defining.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
not that much of a difference.
Still 3,000 gold lead in the mid lane, 3 items up here. Dalia, oh, she's gonna be hurting. Especially now with getting the extra penetration here from the flower.
Yeah, both of them getting the crit bloom.
Nope. Quite interesting though, especially this early on. I guess for Veigar it's more of like the true damage angle, and probably 3rd item Rabadons, I believe. So you can just explode somebody. As it seems like the stackers are here at the bot lane, just kind of looking at each other, stacking away.
And the Arakan has been started for Bobber Gaming. course, both Royce and Robocop do have their TPs, not much vision going there for Entropic. Aggressive on the flank, trying to zone them out a bit, and the Arakan has been slain already. Now it's just a mission, get out. Aggressive in a very bad angle, but I feel like maybe they can let it go, or they will just find the engage. Shift stuck in the cage, gets CC locked for so long. The root is here, and Aggressivo is still alive. Here comes Savero now, dealing a lot of damage in the backline. Gen goes in, but Aggressivo just healing 1000 HP with this under proc double kill for Aggressivo, and now Robocop without his team is not that useful as a tank, and then it was the last member alive, but not for long. A clean ace for Bobber Gaming without any casualties.
I was about to say, like, you would think that, okay, we got the Otacon, like, maybe we sacrifice Aggressivo. No.
Yeah.
We find the re-engage, we have a perfect team fight where nobody
Yep.
dies, we still get the objective. Now a tier 2 also has been claimed here on the top side.
Yeah,
and,
but like you said, it's just the power of Agar. I feel like any other champion, Shift just dashes out or dashes on his support, but you're in a cage, if you don't have the
Can't.
flash, there is no escape, and that just enables everybody run with Royce, and whoever he puts in a cage, just jump on him, man.
I love how he, even in teamfight, just walks up to
Yeah.
people. He doesn't care, he's so tanky. He cannot be taken down. Denik stuck between a rock and a hard place. Robocop will try to hex gate forward, but kind of too late to really do anything, as the bot tier 1 will also be claimed. Gold lead now, basically 6,000 for this side of Bobber Gaming. Looking dominant, looking good, kind of in control of the game. The only really big difference is, of course, in mid lane, as we do see that Wars is 2.4k up, but the rest of his team is just lacking behind, especially in the ADC role and even in the jungle. Those are big, big gold gaps.
Yeah, the cage drops and they can just dish out so much free damage. Nice ult, Roizen is actually stuck, but they are fearful of his combo. But here comes Pirka with the engage and just connects so beautifully with the feathers of Sizifek. Aggressivo also going in. He can tank so much with how much he kills, and here comes Savero into the backline, picking up a double kill. That's a kill now for Roizen, and Volers, being the only member alive of his team, he does take the full combo into his face, and the exhaust, it's not enough damage. He does find Savero with his evil. Roizen lives with a sliver of HP and still a 2-4-5 for Bobber Gaming, now in a 7,000 gold lead, and will be more after this turret.
Yeah, and even the Drake is up in 10 seconds, and that's gonna be a soul here. Especially, I feel like this soul is so huge for Xayah, who just wants to develop those feathers, get them in a good position, kind of root them, but also the Hextech Drake is just gonna be dishing out extra damage.
Look at his damage chart, it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's Wars versus the world,
Yeah.
basically. As Denik can't really move away, Shift looking for the engage. The feathers will be pulled back, but Shift has not actually been rooted. That's going to be the Q here from Robocop, but not even fully charged, as everybody is getting mowed down one by one. A triple kill for Sizifek, as it feels like Entropic just has no chances left.
Yeah, overly aggressive, without vision. Like I said, one by one they weren't all together and they just got picked off so easily. Still Bobber now to 9,000 gold lead, 9.6, and I feel like this will be pretty straightforward now. They do have the inhib. Baron is up in 20 seconds. Pirka does stunlock shit, but it's so much damage coming in from Roizen, and he gets stuck in the cage yet again, and there is no escape. And now Aggressivo just goes in. He's such a tanky menace. Sizifek also just running them down. I feel like there is no threat. You can just
The amount of tenacity
Yeah.
on Aatrox is absolutely huge, as he can just walk, he can go, he can mow down, and now with this soul, they are looking to end the game. Savero rejoining the fight, does have GA rooted. Sizifek was mispositioned, but the ulti ends up serving him quite well, as those Ws and those feathers will start kind of brewing up a storm. The first tower here left to around a half of his HP, and it feels like everybody will once again just slowly but surely be taken out. Minions are there, The towers are not. Nexus is absolutely wide open for the taking. Even Savero jumped in, farmed up a little bit more of that extra damage. And this was a statement from Bobber Gaming.
Yeah, definitely beautiful game, and ending with a 4-0 in Drakes with the Drake Soul. Yeah, I feel like just beautiful from start to finish. I think the bot lane maybe was the biggest problem with that early fight. Yen just falling a bit behind, but Zizefek is good enough to just continue that lead and keep it at bay. And like you said, in fights he was able to zone Yen out because he was stronger than him. So in 1v1 Yen loses.
Yeah, absolutely. So, not looking good here for the side of Entropic. First game was a bit of a sweep. I feel like as soon as like two fights happened, it just felt like it was Bobber Gaming all the way. But we'll be taking a small break, and we'll be back with match number 2. So stay seated and be right back.
style and pattern. Yeah, I got the style and pattern. Hey, I got the style and pattern. Yeah, I got the style and pattern.
Big bad bass for your head top. Bass for your head top. Big bad bass for your head top.
Big
Head top. Bass for your head top. Big bad bass for your head top. Big bad bass for your head top. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. My Rari outruns your Odyssey. I broke it off cause I'm not settling. I got a gift for the lamp on a trip killing me. Yeah, it's like that, I'm in the girls' mentions. Yeah, it's like that, she got the dimensions. I'm balling, they pay me attention. Going up, hydraulic suspension. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. 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 I'm balling, they pay me attention. I'm balling, they pay me attention. I'm balling, they pay me attention. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. My Rari outruns your Odyssey. I broke it off cause I'm not settling. I got a gift for the lamp on a trip killing me. Yeah, it's like that, I'm in the girls' mentions. Yeah, it's like that, she got the dimensions. I'm balling, they pay me attention. Going up, hydraulic suspension. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. 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 I'm balling, they pay me attention. I'm balling, they pay me attention. I'm balling, they pay me attention.
Alrighty, we're back. So let's just kind of get the analysis over with, if you will. It felt like a 1v9 angle from Entropic, just like, okay, we got all our eggs in the Talia basket. Didn't really end up kind of working out because I feel like Talia also is a champion that doesn't really love those quick team fights. She wants to stay away, poke, chip away at people, of course, before the engages happen, but I feel like she really had no chance to kind of do so. Because it was either the Jax, who ended up either being caught, or maybe he was looking for an engage, but it just felt like Barber Gaming with the way that Savero played. I think he was also like 2.4k gold up, it was Sisyphec also, and we talked about it, if you fight in these choke points, the Vagar cage, the feathers, like, it's free CC City for the side of Barber Gaming, who is once again, I believe, on the red side here. So we'll see if Entropic ends up kind of...
The Gravedigger is out. And Lucho is confused.
I don't really know, because
They had
surely he is not that good in, like, competitive.
I think he was picked in some games. I know Vipo does love to play a lot of Yorick, but
Least
I don't know.
controversial top
I
laner.
feel like yeah, those gosh darn top laners. It's always them. Not all of them, but always a top laner.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
But yeah, I mean, he is pretty strong, I feel like, currently, and the people have him in mind as this just menacing on the side lane. We will just contest team fights, but I feel like he does have a lot of value in those team fights if he does hit E on a squishy target, on a mage or a marksman. Those ghouls will just shred them, and they're so hard to deal with because you don't even kill them in one basic, and they're pretty tanky, and there's 4 of them later on in the game when he pops his ulti. And
Okay, that's something that I expected last game, personally. I thought the Rumble was going to come out quick.
Yeah, but maybe...
Oh wait, no, they swapped. It's Entropic on red
Entropic
now.
on red, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, we got that a bit twisted. So, okay, Entropic favoring the red side. Rumble is definitely, I feel like, the premier top lane pick kind of now, so not really surprised. Xante, a pick that wants to just kind of, well, I'll weak-sided boys, it is what it is.
Same. same role as the Cyan was,
Yep.
so nothing weird there. But he
A bit
did,
more teamfight agency, I feel like.
yeah, but
That's
he
the
did
trade-off.
counterpick himself. So Rumble with will yet again Bobber will yet again have the strong side on top lane, or at least the winning lane. But now an aggressive jungler comes in with the Pantheon pick, but pretty much the same as the last game.
Yeah, Jarvan's still open, so
Yep.
wouldn't really be surprised if that ends up kind of happening, because I think we even talked about the Jarvan Rumble combo and how good it genuinely is, and I guess maybe even getting yourself a decent scaling mid laner here could also be the play, because of course Xante and Pantheon, they kind of want to jump in, and that's gonna be a Trundle. So, quite interesting. I feel like Trundle, especially level 1, is really dangerous. So maybe if we see some funny invades going on, I feel like that could definitely do the trick. Of course, I think if Pantheon doesn't one-tap him, I feel like Trundle almost always wins that fight just by repeatedly bonking somebody down. It's going to be Corki as the final pick, which makes sense. Once again, it's a decent, solid option. Does well in lane, scales really well, is just a good all-around pick. But Trundle, I will say, is a bit surprising.
Yeah. So we'll see. Now they didn't match. Of course, Bobber did pick an ADC, while Ryze is a mid laner, of course. So I think last game it was evened out. I think everybody did pick their roles in the same time. So we'll see now a difference in bans as well. Obviously, Entropic do have the option to ban out mid laners.
It's an Evia. I mean, we saw Earth Worlds, so not really.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
game.
But just like what?
Would Draven ban comes out
Yep.
or not?
Sivir?
Also, yeah, very nice.
Super, yeah, I think is especially good also because even just running away. Oh yeah, I love the brown ban. The brown ban is actually really, really good, especially for both Quirky and for Mr. Rumble or the Fire Hamster. And also, if you end up kind of choosing a bit more artillery-focused mages, I think Braum is just gonna like deny 3 people any value. So I do quite enjoy the ban. Poppy was banned game 1 as well. And with Xante and Pantheon here, I feel like could actually be a decent option. Maybe even because like you could just smack somebody into a wall, knock them up, and the Rumble ulti just does the rest. Especially because Trundle isn't necessarily, I feel like, the best engager. And you're kind of lacking that, so I feel like also picking Poppy is going to focus a bit more on the disengage part of things.
Yep.
So I think we're probably going to see a bit more of an aggressive support here. Sivir will also be banned. Fair enough. Alistar for the other side. And the first pick, is it going to be a support? Or is it going to be
probably an
AD
ADC
carry?
makes more sense to leave the
Yep.
counter pick to the support. But I'm actually quite interested. Smolder, yeah, I mean he is a scaling boy, but of course so weak in the early war, while Quirky, although his late game is also very good, does have a lot of early game power.
Yep.
So we'll see how Entropic handles that, because the game before Bobber Gaming's bot lane was so aggressive and they got rewarded so much for their aggressiveness. So Entropic does need to play so safe, and now with Leona just
Makes
max
sense.
out, yeah.
Yeah, you need that
sense.
engage, you really do.
Yeah, and not a lot of counter picks remain here. I feel like Alistar is banned out, so is Braum.
Poppy is open.
Yeah, Poppy
so-
is a counter pick to Leona, but I feel like in the rest of these champs, she's not that great.
Yep, I agree.
I feel like so. I'm not sure.
Maybe
Who do you
I
pick here as
feel
the
like
laner?
this is genuinely a really
Malzahar.
okay, that's interesting. But I was gonna say I think this is actually a really good Janna game. Even now with Malzahar, because you throw him away with ulti. If there's a Rumble running amok,
For sure. No, just pick Lolo, honestly. Or Yumi.
no,
Yumi
I don't. I
does
don't like
insane.
those. I don't like those here. But I actually love Janna. I think Janna could actually be a good pick into this. Of course, I don't really think we're gonna see her, but because you can get rid of Leona, unless she actually needs to pop her ulti. If she pops ulti first, okay, he barred. bit interesting.
Yeah, yeah, interesting.
Interesting is the word
yeah.
that I would use.
So we'll see. They are so weak in the lane. Of
I love how they
course.
picked an order. Like they don't need to swap.
yeah, that is pretty funny actually. But yeah, we'll see such a weak bot lane. Your top lane is a weak side as well, of course.
Price scaling.
Yeah, I don't know how Entropic pulls this game out because yeah, I feel like Malzahar does hit his spikes a bit earlier and is more useful always. I mean, he can go 0-20 and he just still lock someone with his ultimate.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I was going to say maybe Pantheon does help out the situation with him being also so strong in the early, but on the other side you have a Trundle, which I don't know if there's a champion he doesn't win 1v1 and
Yeah,
so
go lethal,
mobile.
bonk away, go PTA, bonk away.
Yeah, I mean whatever you do. So
yeah. As I said, I'm not a fan. I feel like if at this point you have kind of all lanes, I don't really think are gonna be, of course, strong-sided. Ryze does have good wave clears, so he could potentially go for, of course, getting some priority and like roaming. The thing that concerns me is, as a bard, in this case, you also, of course, want to kind of roam around a bit more, find...
yeah, and look at this, we have 6 GPs this game.
Oh my goodness.
It makes sense for Sisyphec because it's so winning the matchup that is. I feel like he needs a defensive summoner spell. On the other side, I feel like Smolder is going to be in a bit of a pickle without the cleanse. But yeah, I mean
The unit!
yeah, a very nice play, level 1 from Bobber, getting that ward down because I feel like Yen needs to swap with Robocop and they are looking for that, they're looking for this swap, so they know if they need to match it or not. But what is going on here? Does Wallers go top lane? Yen plays mid lane and Robocop plays bot lane with Danik.
Don't you love the swap meta?
Yeah, no, it's absolute cinema, as per usual.
Oh, well, your lord.
The content, the script is writing itself.
Oh, yeah, but here we go. Rumble or Aggressivo moving to mid lane. Royzen going top.
Yeah, they did smell it out. So that's very nice. Everybody plays who they need to play against, except the... yeah, of course, Sisyphec. He is on his lane, he is a good boy, unlike everyone else. But of course, yeah, I mean, they can just do whatever they want into the level 1 Xante.
Yeah, the range gap, quite good. And of course, early game Sisyphec with the E, which just, of course, shreds all those resistances away, is so good.
Has the conk as well.
Yeah, even heal was popped here by Denik. Well, not by Denik, sorry, by Burka, yeah. Because they wanted that extra move speed to kind of force them out. They know they can't really contest this, so might as well just kind of get it out of the way, get more health in lane, and kind of keep mowing them down. But yeah, situation quite interesting. Smolder warded Raptors on the mid lane, as Shift is shifting to the top part of the map. Aggressivo is, you know, still kind of holding up nicely, I would say, even in CS here. Xante on 2 CS, as he can really touch the wave bottom lane. If he does, he just gets poked out, so...
Yep, and Aggressivo does now pull a nice trade, so... with 2 pots still up, yeah, and of course, because of the blade having only 1, I mean, he is safe, of course. Mid lane is the safest lane you can play, because it's the shortest. But he needs to still be careful of the ganks, of the Aggressivo lane, because Rumble can just dish out so much damage when he overheats.
Yep, absolutely. But, Trundle now, Savero, in this case will be spotted by the ward, so they know that there's gotta be a handshake again between the junglers. Here comes the all-in. The heal needs to be popped here by Denik to keep Robocop alive, but Sisyphek is quite low now. Burka looking for that re-engage. Even Trundle seems to want to join this fight. They committed, and that's a stun. But a beautiful pillar, even though Burka gets pulled under the tower.
Yes,
Oh no!
in, and he will die as well. Does Robocop pick up the kill? No, it's the double
kill for
Danik.
Bard.
And now with the red buff, he can just go in on Sisyphek. Sisyphek doesn't have flash. Actual triple kill will happen here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, or she's
Oh, the
scared.
minions!
Means
The
Sisyphek
minions!
doesn't
So...
Two more basic attacks, but he doesn't commit actually. So
I don't think he wanted.
I mean, he can flash. Nah.
He can flash Q basic. I think that would be it. He's still fishing for him though here at the bottom side in the tri-bush.
Yeah.
But,
Sisyphek will now lose on quite a bit of
what
tempo.
is going on this game, man? Alrighty. So first back here for Smolder as he's TPing back into the lane.
Yeah.
I think they're quite lucky that Bard ended up getting both of the kills. And Sisyphek is just... They're actually kind of destroying him. So Robocop now has a safe way out through the Bard portal if need be. But we got the first dragon here slowly spawning. A lot of trading still going on in the mid lane, but I'm telling you, dude, the tank support meta, it's good. I invented it in Emerald, so glad it caught on.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, very funny. I mean, it makes sense because there is no way you can play the game regularly with Xanta against Rumble, Smolder against Corky, Leona. But still, obviously because of that dive that was so forced, the gold is actually even, but I feel like everybody's still winning lanes on the side of Bobber, except maybe the Malzahar Rise, but I feel like that will change now with the Lost Chapter on Malzahar. I mean, he can just perma-shove the waves, obviously, he won't stack up a lead, but I feel like...
Sending diseases to
Yeah.
minions, and Savero again here on the bottom side does have that pillar ready to use, and it does seem like the TP will be dropped. The slow is just so good, even preemptively he goes there, so it's going to be a donation to Sisyphek, and that is just what they needed. That might even be a first dragon taken by the side of Bobber Gaming.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's the tank support. You need to 3v2 it.
Yep. The all out from Yen comes in, Aggressivo does have a splash.
Oh, the
he's
pillar?
confident, yeah.
Oh, that's a bro assist. That is a bro assist.
Yep, and a beautiful equalizer there to take the wave. He also does have the TP. So we'll see the replay on this. Yet again, yeah, a bit too aggressive, especially from Severo here, just committing on that kill. I mean, it is worth, I guess, yeah, giving a kill to Trundle against a Bard, but then he just comes on a repeat, and now they don't have flashes or the Robocop.
Remix.
And yeah, Aggressivo flashing on the bot side.
I love how we haven't been looking at top at all,
Yeah,
because it's just
top
a
is
shoving
happening.
simulator.
Yep.
Oh
That's
my
what
god.
they do.
Row, row, row your boat. Okay, we actually got top laners, yo! Top laners top laning. Well, bottom laning, I suppose, but oh my god, that's their first meeting in 7 minutes!
Yeah. Sisyphek doesn't need to use his small lead that he has. I mean, he has 750 gold on Yen, obviously, getting a plate bottom, getting that kill, assist. Also has the call, which is going to be really nice when he stacks it up.
I feel like it was just a silent game from Shift so far. Like almost 8 minutes in, 0-0-0.
Yeah, he hadn't interacted with anybody, but now Drake and Grubs are on the map. So it could be interesting. I'm surprised Bobber didn't use their bot prio earlier to just rush a Drake, especially with Trundle. I feel like they can just melt through him, but they will now contest the Grubs, which are a bigger objective than a single Drake. And
Oh, they're all slowly moving. The fight might break out. The Malzahar ulti there just immediately popped. He can't do anything. Shift immediately gets taken out. I don't really think there's going to be any more contention here as the Smolder ulti will fall. Woolers now looking to kind of free fire away. That's going to be a good route. But all of those minions are kind of pesky. They're blocking his abilities. Even though Perka is so low, Denik connects the flash stun. Beautifully done. Even now has that TP looking for Perka, and the beautiful ult from Bard will secure. That's going to be a double for Warlords. And even though they ended up getting all 3 grubs, that's quite a few casualties.
Yeah, Danik did actually save the situation there. Perkup did buy so much time to zone them out, but yeah, Wallers did finally come to the skirmish, and he did dish out a lot. Of course, Roizen is stronger with it ult, locking somebody down in teamfights, but overall, Wallers does have more damage, and here comes the counter-initiative shift, finally participating in this game with a beautiful dive.
Yep.
Nothing Roizen
He's online!
Yeah.
Turned on his screen!
Yeah, and now they are actually getting something back. Wallers is pretty strong, and now Danik does slip away.
Yeah, no harm done. So, up in kills, but not really up in gold, and kind of down in objectives as well. But, we'll see. The dragon has yet to be claimed, even though we do see Sizifek and Perka already moving around the map. It's going to be Wallors' route here. Oh, but the equalizer has come through. Oh my god, the damage is just insane. Will he be able to dive him yen now? Also running for the hills is going to be the flash from Sizifek. It is good enough. The damage is just so big on Corki now. It's the Sheen. Oof, those procs hurt a lot, but it does seem like Wallors here is able to kind of escape safely from the rumble, but
yeah, but the TP is used, Drake is still on the map, and every single member of Wobber Gaming is here on the turret. They can just do so much here. They have 3 grubs. They can
they're
melt
eating
this
away.
turret.
This is a feast. Feast of blades here. For Bobber Gaming, we'll have to unfortunately use the ulti as they're trying to slow them down, but the first tower still gets claimed. Shift was looking for an angle, but now he's spotted. It's the slow of the pillar, and Perka already on top of him. Sizifek is slowly just running away. Even the redemption kind of comes through a bit late. Not much that they can do, as it does seem like it is a Bobber completely in the lead now. 2.5k, and I feel like a minute ago it was basically dead even, and now they're going to be up in objectives as well as they take the dragon as well as those grubs that they also have. So things are looking kinda questionable now for Entropic. They can of course still kind of pull it back. I think almost being even at 11 minutes with like 3 scaling lanes is okay. So now it's just now it's on them to kind of maintain this deficit, not really get put in more gold, rather less gold for them, more for the side of Bobber, as it does seem like Perka kind of a bit too eager. They might be actually able to kind of get away from there, but that's a dive here on the bottom lane. A shutdown here claimed by Woolors, as we do see that the Trundle just wants to keep chomping away. That's a nice pillar trapping Denik, so a kill will be claimed. Gold stayed kind of even. Roizen now even looking to kind of poison the well. There's going to be the suppress, or the ultimate in this case, the silence, and of course he just can't move away. As I actually think that the minions of Malzahar proc Leona's passive. I think that's a funny little interaction. Shift now goes really aggro. Might even find the double kill here as Wallors is joining the fight. I'm gonna see what did have to pop his TP, but oh my god, this Rumble is melting. But that's a double from Shift. I don't really think they wanted this. Oh, that's still a bit of a rough package overall, but 2.8k, and it's gonna be Sizifek also claiming every single plate here at the bottom lane with another tower, so
Yeah.
the Skorky is fed.
Yeah, for sure. Now with a collective 3.3k gold advantage, Wallers being very aggressive here. So Savera on the bot side, but now 3 members are colliding on him, so he needs to escape, forced to use his flash, but he's also so fed. Both of them, Sizifek and Savera with their full Trinity Forces. Sizifek 8 stacks on the call. it's also going to be such a nice cash-in, and I feel like they're chilling. Their weakest member is Roizen, and he does have such a nice tool that doesn't need really stacks, and a beautiful engage here on Wallers. Doesn't have the flash, there is no escape, and a kill for Roizen does bring him a bit back into the game. And that's the only lead it really remains for Entropic. Is only 600 gold on the Rollers against the Roizen. Pirka does find the stun on Yen, but he will just use the power portal up. With the Savero, Danik could be in trouble. Flash heals out. Roizen can't really participate here. He's stuck under the turret, and Pirka needs to flash out. Here comes his effect to cover their escape a tiny bit.
Yep. They can't really play that confident, I feel like, because still there are a lot of tools on the side of Entropic to kind of punish them if they do end up overforcing a fight. But still, the gold lead is just absolutely massive, and oh, yeah, I don't really know, dude. And I feel like the second that Corky also backs off and gets more items in his bag, it's going to be quite rough in those fights. Even Agresivo, with only Leandries, I feel like he's on a gajillion amounts of damage, so even Wallers now will be spotted. The ulti will be used, but the flash needed to come through. I love the way they're pinning him down, but it seems like the ulti is going to be enough. Oh my goodness, the W saved him from burning away. But now Shift being a bit too confident, they're kind of walking up, even with Agresivo slowly entering overheat. Redemption will be used. The boys will live another day, but still though, that's a flash, that's an ulti. Oof, oof, oof.
Yeah, and Wallers really is the only member that can dish out consistent damage on the side of Entropic. We saw Shift is pretty good in those skirmishes, but only a burst damage and some healing with Thunder Sisyphec. Without mana, without the flash, gets stunned, but not enough damage coming in. The exhaust is here, but that's only Danik in the middle of the whole Bobber Gaming team. He does die, Shift does find a pick on Roizen, but I think that's pretty much it for Entropic. Wallers is still alive, but there is no peel or front lane for him. Robocop is coming from base. Here comes the Rift Herald. The end does get knocked up into the range of Pirka, does get stunned and gets picked up. Pirka does die in the meantime. Sisyphec kiting Robocop, but dodges the Q, and there is no damage left. And that was a clean ace for Bobber Gaming. Double kill for Agresivo, and now it's a collective 6,000 gold.
Yeah, and the Drake here will be spawning, and Savera will just take it away, no issue. As the game has been paused, so we'll see the replay of that beautiful Tokyo Drift engage. I feel like Rift Herald just stopped being about turrets and now is all in teamfight utility.
Yeah, and Agresivo not only locking up Yen, but Dang being in the melee range of Wallers and just beating him down, also secured a free kill on really the most important target on the side of Entropic. And I feel like 6,000 gold in 16 minutes is a bit too big of a lead for Bobber. Although scaling is on the side of Entropic, I don't see how they just snowball this to the end, to the avalanche.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that Corky is a big issue, and also Xante, who of course wants to build those resistances and stuff like that, I feel like is just going to be ran down by Trundle. He's going to slowly sap away at them during his ultimate. And Rumble, of course, even though he isn't in that big of like a gold lead, if you kind of compare him and Xante, he's just still dishing out so much damage to Leandries when the ult comes through. Like, we've seen it basically almost killing Ryze. So the fights have been quite bad. I also feel like Malzahar kind of... his little minions end up absorbing a lot of Ryze's actual damage because either they're blocking the Qs or the Es are kind of bouncing on them and not the actual champions. So I feel like the Malzahar pick is actually quite good into Ryze, especially. Even though he kind of pulled the trigger a bit too early in the last fight, flashing over the wall as he gets blown up by Shift. So that's a bit unfortunate. But still, I actually quite like their comp. I think it's really well-rounded, of course, locking somebody in place. And with the gold lead that they've accumulated, I feel like the only way for Entropic to kind of bring it back is with basically 2 flawless fights back to back. I feel like that might just be the only way, because even now they have the grubs, so the pushing power is also for like in Bobber Gaming's favor. They have a Trundle. If that Trundle decides I don't want to fight, I want to split push, there's going to be nothing on the map left. So that's also a concern that they need to address. So even if they do end up kind of outscaling them and starting these fights, there still is the pressure that Trundle can apply throughout the entirety of the map. So that's something they also really need to worry about. But until then, I think it's just going to be Corki Rumble mowing people down, Malzahar providing a bit more utility. The Silence, I feel like, is probably the... unironically, the strongest part of his kit in this game specifically, because even Smolder does a lot of his damage through his abilities, more so than his attacks. Rise gets silenced, he does nothing. I feel like the Malzahar is just going to do a lot of good stuff here for the team, mainly in the spots of utility. So,
Yep, and with that, we are back in the game, and yeah, just uncontested Drake, of course.
Yep.
They feel like they can just take everything now with this 2000 gold on Savero against Shift. Sisyphec 3000 gold on Yen, just a full item, needs 60 more mana for that mana mint to become the Mirror Mana. And Roizen was the weakest member of their team, now gets a second item, and on the other side it's only Wallers with a second item, and of course he is Rise, he needs mana, so both are scaling items, which still he is pretty strong currently, but of course he's going to be much stronger when they do finally stack up. Like, only thing missing is maybe someone on the side lane, but yeah, I guess there is no answer for this. The only wave clear they really have is Yen and Wallers. Wallers is quite short ranged, and they will just fight back, and they overstayed their welcome. Robocop will instantly be deleted. Beautiful Malza ult on the Yen. He flashes, but Pirka follows, and they just go in. Pirka will die for this, thinking a bit too much. Roizen taking 2 turret shots, gives double kill to Shift, but they are still deep in their base. Wallers is still on the bot lane, and will trade the tier 2 for this tier 3, but overall still much better of a trade for Bobber Gaming. We'll see with this bounty how much gold this gives for Entropic, at least 1,000, so it's not bad, but still they did come from 6 to 7,000 now, so overall still better for Bobber Gaming.
Yep. 100%. Also, the Otacon will be spawning in about 1 minute and 40-ish seconds. So that's another thing that now they need to worry about. And if the gold lead wasn't enough, having more adaptive force and more XP is also going to be quite rough. Wallers will have to pop his ulti to get away from the Trundle, who can now just mow people down. 2.5 items in. Has quite some tenacity, also a lot of move speed from the Deadmans, and the damage from Trinity just kind of ends up stacking a lot, especially on those chomps of his. Seems like the tier 2 at the bottom lane is now kind of the destination, of course, with Otacon spawning probably on the bottom side of the map. I think that makes perfect sense, kind of keep pushing those lanes in, set up really good vision on this side of the map, rotate over, grab Otacon, go back, force a fight, grab tier 2. So, wouldn't really be surprised if that's what kind of ends up happening. Pirka now even just smacking away at those wards. Yen looking to stack up some more. I don't really see. He's on 167 stacks, so still quite a while before he gets his little final upgrade for Burning Gate, of course, for the Execute. Even now, that's a beautiful ulti! Absolutely deleted Yen! Not even a chance in the world to live that Robocop now going back in, but he too shall fall. And that's just the wombo combo of Bobber Gaming. You think you're safe? You are not! You gotta be like 16 towers away. That's what it feels like in Langed. It's just the Leona ultimate, the Rumble ultimate, all falling on top of them, and with the poke that Corki also provides with his rockets, I feel like you're really not safe anywhere.
Yeah, obviously they just have so much damage, so whoever gets locked even for a second just gets obliterated. And now third item for Sisyphec. Everybody having control wards on the side of Bobber Gaming, Rumble not having space in his inventory, but
oh, the Otacon spawned on the top side.
Yeah,
to
and
the bottom.
what do you do against this 9.5 thousand gold for Bobber Gaming? To remind you all, this is the final round of Swiss stage, at least for these teams. They are both 2 and 2, so whoever does lose is eliminated. Shift, ulting into all of the members of Bobber Gaming.
Yeah.
No vision, just
yeah.
blindly trying, maybe, just maybe locking out one time, but unfortunately not. And Yen stuck between a rock and a hard place, gets taken down so easily. And now I feel like they just run them down, will get their first inhibitor.
Yeah, even now with the Otacon, of course, the bonus XP and the adaptive, that's going to be quite rough. RFC in the pockets of Corky, so he's got a bit more range to kind of leverage in these fights. And now here comes the ulti, suppressing them away. It's going to be Malzahar, and the shields ended up saving Warlords here. Can he make it out of this one? He actually will make it to the fountain, as the turrets still end up kind of being untouched. Aggressivo looking for a way back in, even though they spotted Bard, but quite interesting here that with the split up, they couldn't really do much more than get like 2 kills. So the turrets live, everybody lives. They're now slowly pinging away at turrets. Shift doesn't really have his ulti, so he can't just go in. Even will be spotted here by Severo, but it's the ultimate of Warlords who actually ends up transporting a lot of his teammates here. They want to grab this Drake quickly, kind of stop what feels like Bobber from getting that soul really early on. 22 minutes, and the third Drake is already up. It's going to be the Redemption. Beautifully done there. Robocop looking for the engage, but Sisyphic will be able to dodge it beautifully. And now that's a good Smolder ultimate, but there's just no damage. Aggressivo moving back in as Burka is still fishing. He's trying to latch onto somebody, but still it's the Malzahar that ends up suppressing another player from the side of Entropic, and now this truly is feeling like the end.
Yeah.
They have a huge wave up top. Once again, the Redemption will fall, healing basically the entirety of the team. Denik, not even he can like run away from the flames.
Look,
and
this is like finishing 10-0 and 13. I mean, what a performance, but yep. Just
9-1-10, 6-1-15, 10-0-14, and of course 0-5-27
Yep,
on that
very, very rough for Entropic, and unfortunately with this they are out of the Telecom Esports Championship, and congratulations to Bobber Gaming to making it to playoffs.
Yep, absolutely. Congratulations to Bobber Gaming. Quite unlucky here for Entropic, but still. They can, of course, rejoin in next year. Maybe have a better go, a better shot at it. Maybe today just wasn't the day. You know, maybe they weren't really feeling it. But we'll be bringing Amy back as she'll talk us through what's yet to come, as we do still have one more game here for today. It's Team 10 Euro Deal versus Harmony. So stay tuned. BRB.
Back up, cause it's lit. Keep it cool, eyes go for the shit. Cause I'm ballin', look at all these chicks. Whip it up, all these rocks on my wrist. Bring it back. Bring it, keep it back. Look at all these charges, bring it. Look at all these chicks. Whip it up, all these rocks on my wrist. Bring it back. Bring it. Look at all these charges. Bring it back. Bring it. Keep it back. Look at all these charges. Bring it. Bring it.
congratulations to Bobber Gaming for going into the playoffs. We are now looking for 2 more teams to join them. So Bobber Gaming has joined everybody else on that beautiful screen on the pink and the magenta color. It was a little bit as expected, I would say, though I was hoping to see more from Entropic, but we saw them in the earlier matches. They really seem to, I feel like it's dragging them down a little bit that they're all like individually solo queue really good players, but as a team they just don't seem to come through. And Bobber Gaming is really good at this. So was there anything else that they could have done to sort of, tip the scales in their favor?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, individually, I don't think like at this level solo queue matters that much. Although individually, I think in solo queue, players on the side of Bobber Gaming are a bit better, but still the competitive experience is just vast. I mean, you have LEC players, they are playing for multiple seasons in Divisions 2, just so much experience, and I feel like that's much more important than the solo queue rank. But yeah, both of the games, Entropic, I don't feel like they were ready for such confidence and aggressiveness from Bobber Gaming. I feel like draft was also a big issue, but still in the first game, I feel like it wasn't that bad for Entropic. But yeah, they just weren't ready. Bobber Gaming kept just going in, forcing plays, and it worked out every single time. And Entropic, all they could do is just react to the plays, but still Bobber were on top every single time.
Yeah, and that Corky definitely sealed the deal there, which was beautiful to see. So congratulations once again to Bobber Gaming. Sad to see Entropic go. I mean, come back next season again. That's all we can say, and hopefully, with more wisdom from these matches, with more experience as a team. But we have another best of 3 series coming up. We have Harmony versus 10 Euro Deal. Now, what do we think about this matchup?
Yeah, on paper, I would say it would be a bit similar, with Team 10 Euro Deal just individually having much more experience. But I mean, you never know. Who knows? Players could, if they have played together for some time, they could have maybe done some scrims that we don't know about. They maybe have some strategies that are changing with every patch. So I mean, game is full of surprises. So you actually never know.
Yeah, I wish them the best of luck, Harmony and 10 Euro Deal, because Harmony had a little bit of a unlucky streak here, season 4 of TEC. Last time, I believe, one of their teammates has gotten sick. There were some medical reasons that they couldn't find a substitute and so on. So I'm hoping that they come through the best that they can. 10 Euro Deal, great opponent. So I wish them the best of luck. Next match coming in, we're gonna have a bit of a shorter break than usual between our best of 3 series, around half an hour, not a full hour, so you can chill for that time and then come back in 30 minutes and watch Harmony versus 10 Euro Deal. Let's see who's gonna be that next team to join into the playoffs starting Wednesday.
I got the style and pattern. Yeah, I got the style and pattern. Hey, I got the style and pattern. Yeah, I got the style and pattern.
Big bad bass for your head top. Bass for your head top. Big bad bass for your head top. Head top. Bass for your head top. Big bad bass for your head top. Big bad bass for your head top. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. My Rari outruns your Odyssey. I broke it off cause I'm not settling. I got a gift for the lamp on a trip carry me. Yeah, it's like that, I'm in the girls' mentions. Yeah, it's like that, she got good dimensions. I'm balling, they pay me attention. Going up, hydraulic suspension. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. 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 I'm balling, they pay me attention. I'm balling, they pay me attention. I'm balling, they pay me attention. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. My Rari outruns your Odyssey. I broke it off cause I'm not settling. I got a gift for the lamp on a trip carry me. Yeah, it's like that, I'm in the girls' mentions. Yeah, it's like that, she got good dimensions. I'm balling, they pay me attention. Going up, hydraulic suspension. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. 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 I'm balling, they pay me attention. I'm balling, they pay me attention. I'm balling, they pay me attention.
it's lit. Keep it cool, eyes go for the shit. Cause I'm ballin', look at all these chicks. Whip it up, all these rocks on my wrist. Bring it back, 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 back. Bring it, keep it back, 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 back. Look at all this, bring it. Back, 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 bring it. Look at all this, bring it back up, up, cause it's lit. Keep it cool, eyes go for the shit. Cause I'm ballin', look at all these chicks. Whip it up, all these rocks on my wrist. Bring it back, 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 back. Bring it, keep it back, 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 back. Look at all this, bring it back, 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 back. Bring it, keep it back, 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 back. Look at all this, bring it. Back, 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 bring it. Look at all this, bring it. Keep it back, 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 back. Look at all this, bring it. Look at all this, bring it.
Now move your body, it's just a beat.
I got the style and pattern. Yeah, I got the style and pattern. Hey, I got the style and pattern. Yeah, I got the style and pattern.
Big bad bass for your head top. Bass for your head top. Big bad bass for your head top. Big head top. Bass for your head top. Big bad bass for your head top. Big bad bass for your head top. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. My Rari outruns your Odyssey. I broke it off cause I'm not settling. I got a gift for the lamp on a trip cutting me. Yeah, it's like that, I'm in the girls' missions. Yeah, it's like that, she got good dimensions. I'm balling, they pay me attention. Going up, hydraulic suspension. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. 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 I'm balling, they pay me attention.
Hello, we are back from a bit of a longer break since the game ended up being 2-0. So that was a bit of a stomp from the side of Bobber Gaming. But on to the next series, as they say. It's going to be Harmony taking on 10 Euro Deal. Harmony starting on the blue side, Nico already taken away. On the other side, it's going to be Syndra, which...
Yep, a bit surprising, not going to lie, but it is the most picked champion for Picker, which is the mid laner for Team Harmony. Now Oriana ban makes a lot of sense, and Darius on the other side also quite a comfort pick for the Skari there. So will they ban out his Urgot is
they could,
be
yeah.
the question,
seen
but
that.
I don't see the point really. Especially with Aatrox being so prominent currently, I feel like it's such a nice pick into the Urgor.
But Syndra also being banned, I feel like is kind of interesting because I feel like Syndra is genuinely really good, but I feel like she's been quite underpicked at the T-esports Championship. I feel like people not really prioritize her. Oriana makes sense to me because, of course, scaling, team fighting, even in lane she's good for getting prio. And Syndra, on the other hand, of course, maybe the early game is a bit more lacking, but the gank setup is there. You can do a lot of nifty stuff with her. You scale also. Good into the late game, so for sure makes sense why she is banned. Nocturne will be the final ban, and Rumble here is open if they do decide to kind of go for that. Scion, of course, also open. We've seen quite a lot of top first picks lately.
So first pick Urgot.
Yeah,
That's going to be the
makes
monkey.
sense. Yeah, is it gonna be the Jarvan handshake, or are we gonna see maybe Zin?
Yeah,
Maybe
Zin, maybe a Lilia counter pick of the RIP. We will see a lot of options here. But yeah, they will actually take Scion for themselves, although they are the ones on red side.
Okay.
And paired up with a Kiana. So I'm not sure if it was the Team 10-year deal that picked Kiana in a series you watched. I don't really remember who played it, but yeah. So second time now, I think we are seeing Kiana.
Yep.
We'll see how she pans out.
I will say though, I am a Kiana enjoyer. I think she is quite good, but I don't really think that I would.
God bless his soul. It's
Okay.
Mordekaiser on the top lane.
Yeah, Scion really is
Yeah,
not gonna
very
be having
funny,
a
but
lot
I
of
think
fun.
he was picked in Worlds, I'm pretty sure. Not 100%, but yeah, seeing debates about his build, and yeah, very, very interesting. Obviously, he will just spam cooldown, spam abilities off cooldown onto the Scion. I don't think Scion can do much to return the fire. Every time he does stop charging the Q, he's just going to be pulled in. And of course, Mordekaiser is very, very good into tanks with his passive dealing max HP.
Yeah, not to mention like Andrew's Riftmaker, like all of his builds do kind of revolve around burning people away, making them not being able to move, as Rylai's is also quite a good item on him, so
Yeah.
that is a really, really good pick into the Scion top lane.
And later on, I mean, just ulting Scion, obviously he's not going to kill him, even though he does have so much max HP. Still, just ulting him into the fights, and if their support is not a tanky, they don't really have front lane anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously, Scion, that's his only purpose later on, is just to tank a lot of damage, and when you remove him, here comes the Wukong, here comes the Corki in your face.
Yeah, I mean, also you could just remove one of the potential carries if it's
Or
a
that,
one-man show.
Kiana,
Like, let's
yeah,
say
for sure.
Kiana gets fed. Oh well, she isn't in the fight anymore. So I'm not gonna lie, the first three picks I think are heavily in Harmony's favor. I also think that Kiana, even though she is quite good, is also gonna be having a bit of a harder time now, because of course Corki with the W is a bit more mobile. I don't really think she can combo Morde or Wukong. Like,
Look at it, Ben. Aurelion Sol being banned here is not something I was expecting.
Okay.
But you have actually written down for Picard that Asol is his highest KD champion in solo queue. So
I guess it's the respect because
Yeah.
it's all mostly individual bans from the side of €10
yeah,
deal.
and would be really fun to see him in a competitive game. I don't think when was the last time I have seen him played.
It's
and
been 84
Yeah,
years.
and it would make sense into Rise, just perma-shoving waves, and he just cashes in the stacks with his E.
But I mean, he would also. He would eat Scion alive.
Yep.
Even Rise late game, I feel like he's just gonna be and the guy is just gonna die. So Ezreal, a bit more of a safer pick in the bot lane. Also kind of going for the more so safe aspect, being not able to kind of get on top of him. But also, I feel like Quirky is just gonna be a lot stronger late game once he gets those items. And I don't really think that Ezreal is going to be able to kill either Morde or Wukong unless he actually goes ahead and there's going to be a Nautilus here, which I think is fine. You hook onto something ult Ezreal, he can't really escape from that, so I think that is
Yeah,
overall a
Veigar.
really good pick. Another one.
Yeah,
Second of the day.
Another one. Yeah, obviously very good into Sion, Kiana, Rise. Of course, Sion, if he doesn't have his ulti, as he is unstoppable in the ulti. But yeah, yet again, I mean,
You
Rise
just pick Poppy
Immobile.
now?
Um, mm, I
Braum is banned. Nautilus is also quite scary. You do kind of have Sion for the engage. On the other side, it's
I don't
Nautilus
think
and
Poppy
Wukong.
really stops the engages here, as she would need to be in the front line. And if you are, you just get Veigar caged, and then you get blown up. I think she's not that tanky. But yeah, Leona a bit safer, allowing also more engage on their side, not just defensiveness. And we'll see. I think we're going to have a very interesting one now, seeing a Kiana, something that we have complimented so much. ADS Essence. Wow, ADS Essence, finally. We are actually seeing it in action, and of course the Mordekaiser pick.
Yeah, I'm really hyped about that, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. I heavily prefer the draft of Harmony, not 10 euro deal. As I've said, I feel like Kiana is just has rough targets because she can't really one-shot Nautilus, she can't really one-shot Wukong late game, she can't really one-shot Morde either, and Veigar, if he just goes for like the semi-half tanky build, there's also a possibility that he doesn't get one shot either. So it's just gonna be okay. I gotta get on top of Corki. That's gonna be like my main source of income, I suppose, this game. Unless she gets, of course, uber fed and takes care of the entire game. But speaking in sort of like a late game vacuum, I think that overall, even though you have the Rise for scaling, Ezreal is going to be a bit damage lacking. Sion, of course, doesn't really deal a lot of damage. And with Kiana, as she is an assassin, once we get to late game, she also isn't really going to be doing much. So just heavily relying on Rise, I guess, to kind of get you through that late game, I don't really think is going to be enough because there's a Corki, there's a Mordekaiser who doesn't really kind of fall off. He's just still going to be mowing people down in the late game. And I truly do believe that Harmony ended up with quite a better draft here in game one.
Yeah, I would actually agree. I mean, I don't think it's going to be that rough for Ezreal late game, as they are not that tanky. I would feel like Mordekaiser obviously being a AP bruiser, Nautilus not that tanky as Leona when she turns up her W. So I feel like he will dish out some damage, but yeah, I agree. The rest of the members for Kiana, there's just no angle. Sion, if he is a menace tank, he could just be clicked away with the Mordekaiser ult or punished by Veigar. So yeah, we're going to have to see will they also opt for a swap, as they do have Sion in a heavy counterpick matchup. I would say it's going to be an interesting one, for sure.
Yep, definitely.
But
Team
also-
10 euro deal quite. I feel like a lot of it is going to really depend on the early game and a lot of agency that usually comes from Spooky, the jungler here of Team 10 euro deal. I think he really needs to be active. I genuinely think he needs to like completely take over the game in the first like 10-15 minutes. Otherwise, it's going to be really rough for them to kind of play into all of the champions of Harmony. But speaking of the jungle matchup, I suppose Wukong into Kiana. Who do you kind of think ends up in favor?
I mean, it in straight 1v1s and skirmishes, it would probably be the Wukong, but
Okay, we got kind of baited here for production.
yeah, but still, obviously, Kiana is a more complex champion and has a lot of more outplay potential, for sure. I mean, obviously, she can blow up anybody she wants, like the with her ultimate that also does max HP damage. So yeah, we'll see. Wukong far simpler, far more reliable, but also Kiana, I think, having a bigger potential. So we'll see. Spooky being the rank 1 jungler in Bulgaria, obviously. He's quite good himself. Seems like a quite slow start. Nobody's really going to invade. I think this is just for information. But yeah, the swap is going to come out. Now, are they predicting it and will they match it? The Scar is weak.
Yeah.
No, he's not. So
But I
they
mean,
will
since you
actually
kind of
not
picked
swap.
Sion so early, and he's in a tough matchup, you kind of ended up, I suppose, dealing with the repercussions of Sion being matched, or rather kind of counterpicked, not necessarily matched. But it does seem like Ezreal is going to go top lane. So fair enough, they want to kind of allow Sion to actually play the game. But I was also thinking, like, do you maybe just let Sion waste away? Would that have been a potential angle? But doesn't seem to be the case. As Sion already kind of being really aggressive and immediately
really
gets
walk up.
punished.
Yeah, you should just stay in the XP range. You don't really want to go for less hits level 1, as they are both now at half HP. Obviously, Ezreal will never be in any trouble against the Mordekaiser. We'll get solo laner XP. And we'll see how that turns out for them. And obviously, I think it was a necessary swap. Rise obviously being a bit stronger here in the early game, and Ever is so, of course, confident and aggressive as he should be, for sure. Mordekaiser is a melee champion, so he should be able to punish him very nicely.
Yep. Doskari though, just farming.
Like getting hooked.
He can't
damage.
walk. He can't do anything here. And once again, it's the shred of the quirky E that also ends up dealing a lot of damage. So now it's looking quite good for them in the bottom lane. Of course, having double the CS of Sion, but top lane, you could say, is basically the same thing happening. But never mind, Avarice, he might even die. The shield not even popped. A solo bolo on top from the side of Harmony. Doskari just melting away Avarice, and now Fallen might be even looking for a dive here, as Nile just stuck here. The Q will not be fully charged. Stargazing needs to flash away, and now things are looking a bit more rough. Steelback still hooked back, but that's a donation to a Sion who's dead. What is going on?
Yeah, I'm not sure how Avarice is ever in melee range of Doskari there. So obviously very nice solo kill, but I'm not sure how it happened. But he does get immediately punished after, and now 2-1 Sion start is not something you see often, especially because he's staple as a losing lane, as a weak side top laner, and being swapped should be punished, but now gets a double kill off of the dive.
If you're Harmony, why would you ever dive a Leona Sion?
Yeah.
Like, the CC, the knock-up, just Sion, of course, being tanky, and even if you kill him and you can't escape, like, Leona locks you down, and we've just seen him, like, smash away at somebody's HP. I don't know.
I agree completely, but now both of the teams have started crying with 4 tiers on the map.
Yep. Sad times ahead.
Yeah, the big depression.
People are listening to Midwest emo.
Your propaganda won't work, buddy.
Shout out to the best genre of music.
For
Yeah.
deaf people.
Maybe, if they hear vibration. If you don't mind lead singers sounding like their kneecaps are being broken, it's a good shot.
But yeah, obviously Giso now chilling as he is left solo on the lane, so we'll catch up
Yep.
on XP, counter to the Everest, but yeah, still on the top lane. Being 1v1 against Ascari, obviously I don't think a solo kill should ever happen again. Into a Morde, although Morde will become dangerous, level 6. As obviously there is no kiting back in the Brazil, but I think still if he's just full HP, even if he does get ulted, I think he should be able to survive it and then escape after.
Spooky, just kind of moving through mid, looking to get those raptors as well. The Scary, as you've just said, now has that level 6, so he is a bit more of a threat. We're gonna see the replay here. First of all, the Q of the turret, and I feel like the initial thing, had he landed the hook, I see an angle where you would fully commit to it, but with the hook not connecting, once again, just diving into that much CC feels like a complete waste of your time, and I feel like that did ended up being kind of proven here. Unstoppable. Nile, though, is just not able to run away from this one.
Yeah, he doesn't have flash, so yeah.
This is going to be an easy picking for Daskari. He's just going to chip away the last Q here. The big bonk for the end.
Yeah, Steelback does find himself in a cage. Beautiful hook onto Spooky, and he is a squishy Kiana. Here comes the Vega roll, just blows him up, and now Steelback also in trouble. Does flash out and manages to live, but still a nice pick. And now the team deal in 500 gold lead for themselves.
Yep. That is quite interesting, all the things that kind of keep on happening around the map. Nile is back here at top. I mean, well, technically at bottom, but with a top matchup, actually. As the root here will come through. Beaker just kind of peeking a bit. Dodging and weaving, getting those Qs and Ws in. As it is quite good for him, especially with the kill onto that Kiana. But I feel like this is kind of the thing we talked about, where you want Spooky to really be active on the map early game, otherwise it's just going to be really rough, kind of, I suppose, regrouping and playing the game when the state kind of reaches that mid-game, all the way to, of course, late game. So, Kiana, 7 minutes in, 1-1. I think he might be wanting to perhaps do more, maybe be a bit more aggressive, honestly, now that he's in a good spot. And Stargazing feels like the perfect target for it. The ultimate will fall. A nice, beautifully done combo by Spooky, as Rise has also now joined the fight. Fallen, it's going to go for that knock-up, and Rise almost gets taken out here, but all in all, a 1-4-0.
Yeah, and the Ezreal ult doesn't find its target, although he's now does have a lot of HP. Nafkela does take the W, but does not damage Peeker. No AP in his items, of course, as well as Nafkela, but he does scale with mana. Steelback stuck in a cage, but Veigar doesn't have the ultimate, and without that, I don't think he has that much damage to pick him about. But now he's stuck between a lot of members of Team Harmony. They do find the kill, but all of the grubs are going to belong to Team Ted.
Yep.
So I would say that's pretty worth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's precisely the thing we mentioned. Just be more active in that early game. They already got themselves those grubbies. They got the first Drake as well. So objectives are looking good. The only thing that's kind of missing is perhaps a bit more kills, but still 9 kills in 9 minutes. Nothing really to complain about.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary for this tournament. But yeah, I mean, look at gold. This swap has definitely worked for Team Ted. Ezreal is a level up on Gisou. He is 300 gold ahead, and Cyan is even against Mordekaiser, of course, because of the double kill, but still definitely paid off. And now they are in a much better spot, but obviously Harmony is just waiting for those power spikes with Veigar and Corki. A whole another story in the late game. Versus now. Nile even grabbing a plate, and he's actually ahead on the Skari. Obviously, Steel would probably lose the 1v1, so he needs to still be careful, but weak side Warrior is ahead.
Yep. Quite insane, honestly, for Harmony. As I said, the only really thing that's kind of separating the both teams here are the objectives. As you do see, Nile just absolutely eating that wave up.
Yep, already such a huge spike.
Yeah, 400
Those
HP
players.
bonus in his pockets by stacking that W. Beaker is also just kind of chilling, but Fallen kind of ended up looking for an engage, but he will be spotted here by Kiana, as they might want to force this fight. I don't really know if that ultimate ended up hitting Veigar, but it doesn't even matter. It's going to be the Q from Kiana that locks him down, and that's once again an easy pick here for Team 10 Euro Deal. Now up by 1.2k. As it seems like a fight might start to break out. Stargazing goes for that flash engage onto Avarice, as he can now fire away Nautilus. He can't really get away from this. Even Nafkala ended up joining the fight with his ultimate, and things are just completely turning around. It feels like Team 10 Euro Deal is looking so much better in these early to mid-game skirmishes.
Yeah, I mean, the all-in was a fine idea, but that Ezreal is level 9. Gisol was level 7 at the time, and he still has both summoners up, and you just die when you put yourself in that position. If Kella now stuck in a cage, takes a lot of damage, but is not dead quite yet. Veigar with no AP in his items can't blow up yet, and Fallen forced to flash out. Kella still holding his flash, and in the meantime, Team Dead did get their second Drake of the game while having 3 grubs. And also with that have finished the feats of strength.
Yep. The tower, the only thing that's kind of missing on the map. We do see that the tier 1 at mid here is on 3 plates. Same thing with the bottom tier 1. It's also on 3 plates. So I do believe it might end up being a bit of a race to see who can kind of claim the first tier turret gold. Because that's probably going to be a nice little nifty bonus. Sion is just chilling away, as he really doesn't need to do anything. He's still ahead in CS. He just doesn't care that Mordekaiser kind of even exists at this point, as the waves are just being shoved in. Here comes the pull. The Skari will now start to kind of chip away at his HP. The shield is quite big, even the healing that ended up happening over here, and it's just a burn, as you've said, you know, having the ability essentially to just kind of chip away at max percent HP is so good for him.
Yeah.
He even just ends up healing up at the end of that fight, and with Conqueror, of course, that just kind of adds up.
Yep, for sure. But still, obviously, Nile just has to be chilling, clearing waves. Beaker, bad position here. The cage is not quite nice, and Avkela just walks around it, and Beaker now running away, but just gets CC locked forever against the Leona Rise and gets picked off, and now that's a pretty big kill. Avkela 450 gold ahead of Beaker, and
yep. Even though now Israel is ahead, of course, when it came to the item department, as the Trinity has not yet been finished by Corki. And now Fallen will be spotted. The ult will not connect, but Spooky is just doing so much damage, and this Kiana Steelback will lock him down, and that's another pickup for Team Ted, as the plates, well, plates no longer now, but the turret will probably be eaten away here for Team Ted, as once again we do see the Skari attempting a solo bolo. The turret still has not been claimed. Nobody can really touch it. Steelback gets blown up because of that.
yeah, well, he did
And they got one back.
splash, actually, but yeah, of course, now they do get the first turret of the game and are just accelerating this game. I mean, already 3000 gold, at 14.5 minutes. And Kiana finishing Axiom there as her second item already. She is the first one to do it. 1.5 thousand gold ahead of Fallen. And I just feel like Harmony can't even fight for the next 10 minutes even maybe. There's just no damage really. Currently in their team, Picker needs to finish this Lost Chapter item. Obviously they can still find picks with Nautilus R and Vigor Cage, but if Team Ted is cautious and is grouped up, I just don't see what they can do in those team fights.
Yeah, 3, 1, and 2 on that Kiana, 15 minutes in. Grabbed every objective on the map for his team and now looking to continue doing so. With Rift Herald now also being added to the kill list. He's just playing exactly what he needed to play, and that's a really good early game. And it's been accelerating Team Ted. It's been pushing them in the right direction as Steelback is clearing those wards. Avarice, of course, will get another turret here for Ted. And things are looking quite good, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody on the map is ahead in gold. The only one, I guess, kind of negligible is the top lane.
Yeah, but considering he was counterpicked at his weak side,
Yep.
very, very bad. Now 4.2k gold ahead. Team Ted are just looking so good here. Only 8 to 6 on the kill board, but all of the objectives, 2 turrets already, so much plates. Accumulated such a big chunk of gold.
Yeah, and Fallen even ended up losing his life here just for overstepping into a Rise. And if Rise is doing so much damage at 16 minutes, I think that's going to be quite concerning for Harmony.
Yep. His tier is almost stacked up, but so is pretty much everyone else's. He's so falling a bit behind, but still, yeah, Picker and Nafkela will have their Seraphs soon. Of course, Nafkela still 900 gold ahead, and it looks like a soul point for Team Ted. They just can't contest it at all.
Spooky is everywhere he needs to be.
Yeah, they can't even walk up for vision. Hook lands, the damage is here, but Everest does have both summoners up, and he can't really flash out Fallen. Beautiful engage, but he still lives. Gisou finishes the kill, but now he's stuck on the tank that is Nile, and he gets the kill back. So it is a 1-for-1. Beautiful engage for Team Harmony.
Yeah, definitely. But I still think that's worth. You put yourself on soul point. The only one who ended up dying was Ezreal, so it is okay. Kiana still has that bounty. Rise still has that bounty, so I feel like all in all, I think it's okay. And also the lead has just accelerated to 5.1k up now. I don't know if they still have the Herald. Haven't even used it. They can maybe look to open up a tier 2 as well.
Yeah, obviously Israel is the least important target. Spooky has been spotted, but he will just dash out and... Yeah, even with the engage that Team Harmony did and how much stuff they threw, I still feel like it took them so long to kill Everest, and even Fallen was needed with the full combo there. It was just so much used, and so flashing as well. Stargazing barely lives there, and yeah, I feel like in all 5v5s, I don't know, it's going to be so hard for Team Harmony. They are now 5,000 gold behind, full Seraphs on Picker as well as Nafkela. So they are kind of similar. It's interesting because Nafkela does have 1.6 thousand gold on Picker, but they have exactly the same items. Obviously, Nafkela's
the
boots
are
are
a bit more expensive.
Yeah, a bit, but still. So Picker is still very much so in this game, but obviously does need some setup to secure a kill because his combo is not enough, I feel like, for anybody. Maybe he one-shots Spooky, but still I don't feel like that's a target you will find.
Yeah, nice trading here from Nile, but the longer this fight goes on, I think it favors Mordekaiser, so he's gonna take his little win. He's gonna walk away. As the Scar is still just punching away, getting as many stacks as he can to just pop the shield, heal back up. Doesn't really need to do anything other than that, but yeah, gold lead is steadily growing, so not even that is really diminishing, and with the wards here at the bottom side, so it seems like Ted knows a lot, especially because, like, look at the wards here in the top side river, at the blue buff, at the red buff, just everywhere there is vision, everywhere there is info, and I feel like especially when you're playing these AD lethality assassins, the info can just be so big. Otacon will also be spawning, so it seems like everybody will be slowly making their way towards it, but it seems like it's going to be an ambush, potentially. Dascari, he discovered them fallen. He just walked up. Lucky for him, though. Maybe the rest of his team could do something. Dascari, even now, with that redemption, he's just chilling in Brazil, trying to kill Steel back, get something back, and I don't even know if he's even going to be able to do it. It's going to be the knock-up of Rift Herald. Avarice just guiding away, and everybody has almost been killed. Gizzo, the only one who ended up almost surviving, if Nafkala.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have the flash, so even if he misses everything, he just kills him with E's and W's and basics. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Fallen, I'm not sure why he stepped so far off his team and just went in. They have zero vision. Yeah, very bad miscalculation, of course. He just gets wiped and his team is even stunned in the back line, can't help Dascari, and yeah, I mean, even just being so behind in gold, if they play fights like this, there's just no chance of coming back. They really need to rethink their strategy. I think they should have just maybe even let it go or wait for them to start. They did have two far sights. But another trap set here in the jungle, and Stargazing has no hope of ever escaping. There's just so much CC coming out from Team Ted. Now stuck in the cage, flash out, but they had different ideas. Steelback flashes in, and Nafkela does not hit the combo because Giso dashes out, but Nafkela does finish the kill finally and just runs into them. He's such a tanky rise, and he just obliterates Fallen as well, and Dascari died in the meantime, allowing them to collide on Picker. Now everybody died on this side of Team Harmony there.
There's gonna be a soul as well here if Spooky just ends up pathing towards it, but I think you put it perfectly. Like, even if the fights end up being so disorienting and nobody is really on the same wavelength, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's 12,000 gold deficit for the side of Harmony, and it just feels like if you leave one of these potential carries alive, they can just solo the fight if need be. So even now, as it seems like they will grab that soul. 22 minutes in, Harmony. No, I think it might be Dissidence. That was a musical joke, thank you.
Stone, the foundation of empires.
Anyways,
Yeah, now 14,000. You know it's bad when the support gold lead is 1,500.
I didn't even notice, honestly.
Yeah, as soon as you see the K sign or the symbol between the supports, it's not a good look. And I mean, what can you do now? Cyrilda finished for Spooky. Thornmail finished for Nile. He's actually so fed. He did pick up a lot of last hits, and actually being the second most fed person on the map in terms of items, Ruslan of Kela. Very close to that. Zonya probably even has now enough gold. Shoji now for Avarice. Yeah, I mean, they're all on 3 items. Meanwhile, only 3 members are on 2 items on the team side of Harmony. Fallen, he's just so behind. He has, what, 5 CS per minute? 1 and 3.
Yeah, it's just not really easy to play now. True Shot Barrage here will chip away some HP of Beaker. It does seem like they're immediately looking for that engage, but here comes the counter engage. Everybody's knocked up. The damage from Kiana is so huge. Avarice in that 1v1 will not really have any trouble. It's a clean, complete solo bolo. This was a desperation attempt to kind of save the game, but
Yep.
yeah, I can't really do much.
Yeah, nothing much you can do. It is a very snowbally game. There's just no chance of a comeback, unfortunately. And now Ted finishing the game with 17,000 gold lead. A very clean game from start to finish. So Harmony will really need to rethink their strategy for the game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like most of all, I think they need to mental reset now, because we talked about it. I feel like the draft from Harmony was so much easier to play, so much easier to execute. I feel like there are not really a lot of these micro mistakes you can do. There's a more consistent way of outputting damage if you actually end up being even. But if anything, I think this was just a pure statement from Team 10 Euro Deal. I think they played perfectly. Spooky did exactly what he needed to do. He grabbed every single objective. He was everywhere where he needed to be. So I think this was definitely a statement game from them, and I think they're looking to claim Game 2 as well and move on to the playoffs. But before that, there is a small break. So we'll be back in a few minutes. We'll see if Harmony can bring it back, take us to match number 3, or it's going to be our second to last, because there still is a match tomorrow, team that ends up going to playoffs. So, BRB.
Back up, cause it's lit. Keep the cool eyes gold from the shit. Cause I'm ballin', look at all these chicks. Whip it up, all these rocks on my wrist. Bring it back. Bring it, keep it back. Look at all these charges, bring it. Bring it. Look at all these charges, bring it back up, cause it's lit. Keep the cool eyes gold for the shit. Cause I'm ballin', look at all these chicks. Whip it up, all these rocks on my wrist. Bring it back. Bring it. Look at all this childish, bring it back. Bring it. Keep it back. Look at all this childish, bring it. Bring it. Look at all this childish, bring it. Keep it clap, 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 clap. Look at all this ringing. Look at all this ringing.
Now move your body, it's just a beat. Just a beat.
How's it hanging, folks? We are back. Second match, Team 10 Euro Deal versus Team Harmony. Harmony, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I feel like a lot of those plays were forced, and that kind of ended up giving the opportunity to Team 10 Euro Deal to kind of snowball, take over the game. I feel like the dive bot lane was where it all started to go wrong.
Yep.
So I think maybe Harmony going into this one need to recognize their opportunities a little bit better. and maybe approach it with a bit of a calmer mind.
Yeah, well, the sides have swapped this time around, so maybe they can just blame it on the blue side.
Yep.
We'll see. Bans remain pretty much the same. Oriana and Nick on one side. Actually, this time around, it's the Poppy, as they do have the first pick, so we'll see what is that big counter that would Poppy enable that is now out of the picture. A Fury Band on the other side, stopping the flow of assassin AD junglers, but now it is the J4.
Yeah. Neferi definitely, I would say, is strong. So makes perfect sense on why you would want to take it away, but it's gonna be the first pick, Jarvan, and that's what we were kind of waiting for. Even though Oriana has been banned, he's been so good. I feel like serving every team that needed him. He is good. Doesn't really need to scale. It's basically all in his kit. He survives a lot. Early game also deals quite a bit of damage. So all around a good champion in the meta. And now with Wukong off the table, it's gonna be Nocturne.
Yeah.
Interesting actually that they would kind of opt for a Nocturne. Maybe I don't really know. I thought maybe we were gonna see Xin before we end up seeing Nocturne, because this feels like a big Hail Mary sort of thing, where you really want to focus down a target. We'll see what the second pick here brings. If it's going to be a top laner, it's going to be something else. No, it's going to be the Kai'Sa. Going for that safe, I would say, kind of an option. Yunara is open, so we've seen quite a few, I feel like, Yunara Kai'Sa lanes, so I wouldn't really be surprised here if the Team 10 Year Deal ends up maybe going a Kai'Sa and picking a... not Kai'Sa, sorry, Yunara. And picking a support for her, even if they want to opt into, like, scaling. There's a Sivir, there's a Xayah, yeah, there we go, Xayah Rakan is immediately going to be locked. A good lane here. And especially, I would say, a solid overall matchup into a Kai'Sa.
Yeah, now this looks textbook from Team TED. J4, Xayah Rakan. Something you would see on a first page of the League of Legends book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, Oriana is banned. That combination, wow. Very, very nice. Not a champion you see often, but I like it a lot. Obviously, that's counter the J4, the Rakan, and being so engage heavy. If you do lock down Kai'Sa, obviously, you can lantern her out, so I really, really appreciate this pick, especially because Poppy is banned and there's so much engage on the other side. You need something to stop it. So Azir has been actually banned. And what do you ban next?
Yeah,
maybe a Talia.
Urgot is interesting also. Once again, it's mostly those individual respect bans more so than anything else. I mean, maybe you ban... I don't really know what else is kind of left. Yeah, Talia could be a ban. Maybe even an Ahri, even though we haven't really seen Ahri. Even
I'm not even sure why, honestly.
She seems really good even in this meta, so I'm kind of wondering on why nobody is really opting to play her. Of course, there's a Hui.
Chase ban.
Okay, we're getting rid of a mid laner and a top laner. Well, a flex pick, I suppose, more so than anything.
Yeah, maybe Harmony picks Hui for themselves. I'm surprised he's still open, or they will just ban him out here. But yeah, Hui would look really, really great with the comp of Team TED. For sure.
Renekton as well. Oh, it's like so many top lane bans from the side of Team TED. It feels like the top laner here. Discari is just given a lot of respect here from the players of Team TED. The first pick here probably is going to be a mid laner. I think they want to kind of focus on giving their top laner a counter pick again, because I think he was stellar in the last match. I think he was probably the only one actually who ended up playing well, even grabbing a solo kill on an AD carry in a lane swap. So I think they definitely kind of want to support him as the main ingredient.
Olaf has been picked here. I'm not sure why. I mean, obviously very good into Xayah Rakan. You can't really gauge, you can CC him, obviously. But Jarvan is such a good counterpick to Olaf, because you just ult him and then you EQ out when he goes into rage mode, and Even if he doesn't
just
have
stands there.
if he doesn't have the flash, he's just stuck in the
Yep.
terrain. So
And also forcing
such an
him,
interesting pick.
as you've just said, if he doesn't have flash, and Olaf also a champion that really likes Ghost. So this is now even kind of forcing him in a really funny thing. Like, okay, are you going to run flash DP? Are you going to run flash Ghost? Because it feels like a flash now is mandatory.
Yep.
So I also agree. I think they definitely should have left the final pick to him. It's gonna be the Ambessa, another fight.
Okay.
There we go.
Yari,
Finally.
Yep.
It's been ages, and I'm not sure why she wasn't picked yet. Now though, I'm wondering what the response is gonna be because it's been quite interesting in the mid lane. We've seen Rises, we've seen Vigars, Oriana, and Syndra, of course, are banned. So Hui is still in the pool. Talia is still in the
probably,
pool.
yeah. I mean, they have a lot of dashes. I don't see why not.
Oh, you know what I would love here, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen. A Vex.
Oh, okay, my bad. He goes for the all-in option.
Yeah, steal the ultimate of Ari and just smack him down.
All in on Silas. Yeah, I really like that, especially just because of that. What you said. Obviously, Ari probably the most mobile mage in the game after Kassadin, but we're not going to talk about him. I shouldn't even pronounce his name
Publicly?
Yeah. But obviously, yeah,
L9.
taking her ultimate and just matching those 3 dashes, obviously, very, very
Rakan
nice.
ult, also
Yeah.
really good.
Ambessa ult also could be huge.
Yep. The Jarvan ult I don't really think is going to be that useful. Same with...
I mean, it could be to ult Zaya if she's flashless, of course, then she
Yeah.
doesn't have...
But still, I feel like at that
Escape.
point, just getting on top of her with Ari dashes or even the Rakan ulti is also going to be good because of the move speed and the dash, and if you have flash as well, you can probably get to her just fine.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, did Harmony overcook the food, or...
I'm not gonna lie, I think they overcooked a bit.
Or are they a Michelin star restaurant?
We'll see. If my gut is to be somewhat trusted, I genuinely think they overcooked a bit. I don't really like Nocturne in this comp. I think they should have. Well, that's of course me personally, right? But like, if they had something with a bit more, I would say, fighting capability, because you have the Silas who, of course, wants to W, he wants to sustain. There's Kaisa once you get the lethal going, of course, stuff like that. And even Olaf, who isn't really a burst, go in, run and done. So I feel like kind of having Nocturne in this comp feels kind of really iffy to me, because it feels like, of course, yeah, you want to go in, but on the other side, it's a Jarvan, it's an Ambessa. Like, I feel like whoever he goes into, and if he goes on Zaya, of course she's just gonna ult, and if anybody is there to break the shield, with, like, let's say a Rakan W, maybe he has Charm, I feel like the second he engages, he's gonna get blown up. So, me personally, I'm not really the biggest fan of the Nocturne in this scenario, because I feel like it's so easy to break his spell shield with the scope.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was picked only after the J4,
Yeah.
which I think is very, very nice. Him just in one-on-one situation against J4 works really, really great. I think he is better in that situation, and then you just pick around him. So I don't think it really matters on the other side, but yeah, obviously they picked very nicely into that. Zaya, yeah, I'm not sure how she will get killed by Team Harmony. I mean, Nocturne does have free time fearing her. Obviously, when she does ult, the fear will remain. But as you've said, you have so much peel from
Yeah, I
your
think she
team.
can walk away just
Yeah.
fine.
So, but I just think Nocturne is the least of their problems. I think Olaf was just...
Yeah, that was the second part that I was gonna say. I think Olaf is also really... I think it's gonna be rough for him to play into this because, as you've just said, Jarvan, just one ult is enough to stop him. If he does kind of keep going, the second his ulti stops, okay, there's a charm, there's a knockup, there's an Abessa on me. It feels like, once again, there's too much damage, and even with the root of Zaya, if she just waits it out, because of course she's going to have a lot of peel from her teammates, I definitely feel like the Olaf Nocturne was overcooked. I feel like those two specifically are probably going to have a really rough time into the team comp of Team Ted. The rest, I think, is fine. Like, as you've even mentioned, Thresh is really good. I agree. I think Thresh is superb. Just getting rid of those pesky engages, like whichever champion decides to go in, Jarvan, flay him away. Rakan, flay him away. Get him as far away as possible. Unless...
Wait, you know actually what the play is? When Olaf ults, if he does get J4 ulted, you just lantern him out of the ult.
Yeah,
Okay, well, actually, maybe.
one counterplay.
Yeah, they have potential to cook this one.
Yeah. I'm curious
So-
what summoners he's actually gonna end up taking on the.
I
on
mean,
the top
Flash
lane.
goes probably, most likely.
No TP.
Yeah.
Oh, no TP then. Oh, if he gets camped by Jarvan, that might actually be quite rough if Ambessa just goes fully ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe you can flash TP with, if you go the, what's it called? Hex chest plate.
No, Hexblade
Hexblade.
thing, yeah, for the move speed.
Maybe then, but I feel like, yeah, it's a very, very important, especially now. I mean, he did pick it pretty late, but obviously Ari having 3 dashes, Rakan being very mobile, Ambessa.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough
I don't know who he's going to catch up with, but yep, we are going to go in game in a second.
Yeah, our production kind of loves beating us a little bit. Yeah, second time of the day. But overall, even after the draft and everything, what do you think? Is this going to be a 2-0? Is this going to be a third game incoming?
Yeah, I mean, most likely. I feel like he's going to be a very interesting one. Now that I've thought about the Olaf interactions with J4, I think it could be pretty funny if Trash it actually happens that Trash gets him out and he somehow gets on top of Zaya. But yeah, I feel like Team T just have such a straightforward comp. I don't see any holes in their walls. Yeah, it's going to be a very, very tough game for Team Harmony.
Yeah, I agree, and I think like if you look kind of back at the last game as well, where they've had a really difficult comp to execute. They need to be fast, they need to be precise, they need to immediately start snowballing. They did that perfectly. And now, there really is no fire alarm. There is no need for them to just, okay, we gotta do all this by minute 15. No. These are lanes that are good, that are all around, that work really well at any point of the game.
Yep.
And yeah, I think it's going to be a lot easier to play, but as we've seen them play in harder comps, and if that was good, I think this is going to be even easier for them to execute. But seems like we're going on a small break, so BRB.
Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. My Rari outruns your Odyssey. I broke it off cause I'm not settling. I gotta get for the lamp on a trip cutting me. Yeah, it's like that. I'm in the girls' mentions. Yeah, it's like that. She got the dimensions. I'm balling. They pay me attention. Going up hydraulic suspension. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. 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 I'm balling, they pay me attention. I'm balling, they pay me attention. Only to pay me attention. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. My Rari outruns your Odyssey. I broke it off cause I'm not settling. I gotta get for the lamp on a trip cutting me. Yeah, it's like that. I'm in the girls' mentions. Yeah, it's like that. She got the dimensions. I'm balling. They pay me attention. Going up hydraulic suspension. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. 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 I'm balling, they pay me attention. I'm balling, they pay me attention. I'm only the pay me attention.
Woohoo! We're back. It's been a century. That's what it feels like. But we got D players ready. Everybody's connected. Beaker already just being quite aggressive. The Thrash hook will not really find anything.
Yeah, and it is the Flash Ghost for Olaf, meaning only one TP on this side of Team Harmony.
Yep.
So that will be a small issue later on, but obviously if he does become a menace on the side lane, he's not gonna need TP. They are going to need to TP to him. We'll see how this matchup goes, because obviously Olaf is known as a lane bully, but against Mbessa that has a dash after every single ability, we'll probably be able to kite him back. He unleashed the kills with the dashes, and I don't know how Olaf finds the all-in angle.
Yeah, and especially with the grasp, of course Nile looking to do those short trades, get a grasp stack, move away, as you've just said. He has a gajillion dashes, so Beaker already quite low now. Those W's of Ari are just so hard to deal with.
Yep, he does have Prio still, beautiful W, but the flash has been forced for Gisou, and they do get T level 2. So now, small lead for Everest says. Gisou has missed some CS, actually quite a bit, but beautiful, beautiful Prio. I don't think he should be allowing that, obviously. The level 2 power spike is a known thing, and you should be very cautious of it. And a pretty big CS lead down on the bot side. Obviously, Nafkela also using the range into melee lead, or the matchup. Scar is hitting those axes, but Niles Go is in for the trade. They both have biscuits.
Yep.
So I don't think any one of them is in that big of a trouble, but Beaker getting abused here in the mid lane needs to be careful. If he is low enough, the Flash Charm is going to do the job.
Yeah, Beaker really not having the greatest of lanes. Of course it is rough for like any melee into range
like he's
matchup.
making
Here
mid, but
comes the
also
Ghost.
Scary goes in. Beaker flashing out with 1 HP, but beautiful flash for that. Fallen, does he have the Q? No, not yet. But still Ari is in enemy jungle, and she does die. Nafkela gets taken down on top lane 1-for-1. So it's actually 2-1 for Team Harmony. And that is the lead that they are in collectively.
Yep.
Beautiful gank. Abusing the fact that Nafkela was winning those trades and was playing so aggressive. Beaker also limited him to the fullest. But obviously Beaker wasn't the one that cashed in the kill, so he will not have an advantage in the items, but now goes for the very aggressive trade against Nafkela. Just goes in and obliterates her.
Yeah, it's the Silas Revenge Tour now that he ended up kind of getting that assist. That's a good double flay there, but the knock-up as he will tank a tower shot. Nafkela, as you've just said, having a bit of a harder time. The chains connect. It might just be a solo bolo. Spooky didn't arrive on time.
He should live, so
Yep.
very, very unfortunate there for Nafkela.
Yeah, Ari's now gonna have a really rough time.
Yeah, for sure. 2 Dark Soul stacks as well. Beaker is going to be able to shove that in. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's not a cannon wave, so it's going to be pretty easy. And now he is in a 400 gold lead. Obviously, Nafkela is going to scrape some no CS, but will have a bit more in stats, and not what you want against such an aggressive champion. Now Lucidity Boots, he's going to have such an easier time dodging abilities and just getting into Nafhelis' face. Obviously in the skirmishes as well, he's going to be able to rotate so much faster with those tier 2s.
Yeah, absolutely. Nile just trading away, getting those grasp rocks. Of course, even with the potion, still does have those biscuits, but I think he needs to be careful of the Scary. The charm is good. Beaker now ended up grabbing that ultimate for himself. Steelback here arrived on time to kind of save his mid laner from maybe impending doom, as it seems like there's going to be a re-engaging flash hook, connects beautifully onto Steelback, flayed back and taken to the depths of Flesh's Lantern, I suppose. So beautifully done there by Harmony, as it seems like it's a complete other game, but the trigger pulled a bit too early, bit overly aggressive, as now the ulti comes through and it's going to be a dive with the help of Fallen, as the top laner Nile is once again facing quite a bit of trouble.
Yeah, Fallen now 3-0, he's doing so well, and obviously beautiful combination play of Beaker and Stargazing, just throwing their abilities at the same time on Steelback, securing that kill, and Harmony is actually looking good now. 500 gold on the top lane, 900 in the jungle.
Yeah, it's gonna cost him up late in the bot lane, as Stargazing had to, of course, be roaming for those plays to happen.
Yeah, but after that, as you've said, trigger pull too soon by Beaker, just for no reason trying to dive there, Nafheila is actually in the gold lead. So he lost the advantage he had, the 2 Dark Seal stacks he had went over to Nafheila now. And again, I think Nafheila can take control of the lane. Obviously still doesn't have boots, so he still needs to be cautious of the all-ins by Beaker. But now he does have some AP in his pocket and will be able to dish out so much more.
Yep, Beaker though, losing quite a bit of HP. That Q hurts a lot now.
Yeah, and that Q now is enough to one-shot the caster minions, so he should be able to just shove the waves so fast. But a full Hexblade there finished for Fallen. Very nice spike.
Yeah, Spooky has been spotted. There's gonna be a pink ward, a control ward rather, dropped in that bush. Beaker looking for the engage. Here comes Stargazing, even though there was a charm that landed. I think that might have even saved him. No Qs shall be landed though. I think he predicted a dash. Immediately though, Team Ted starting them up, those grubs, a nice W there. Stargazing now kind of looking to be locked, beautifully done. Beaker looks for an engage, but it backfires completely. Duskari now running for the hills, but he too, who will successfully evade the clutches of Ted, but Ted has completely eliminated the gold lead and now even grabbed all 3 grubs with the first Drake as well, so 500 is the gold lead as it swings again into Ted's favor.
Yeah, and now they have swapped out Nile, while Duskari was having a nice lead, meaning Olaf can't really snowball anymore against the Ambessa. And Avarice already is 1.1 thousand on Gisou, having a 35 CS lead, which is just so much. Now finishes his Yuntal. We're going to see replay yet again. Nice solo bolo by Beaker, Spooky even not even being able to trade it back. But yeah, this play was just so beautiful. And their Beaker just for no reason went here. I mean, I saw the vision, him getting a kill, getting lanterned out, but not enough damage.
I don't think he expected Spooky to be there as well.
Yeah, but still Spooky didn't even do that much. I mean, he just didn't have enough damage.
Twice. Yeah.
So just
the charm landed.
That
was the thing that ended up, I think, hurting the dive the most. So
yeah, now Malignance finished for Nafheila, 5 Dark Seal stacks. That Ari is going to hurt a lot.
Yep. Nice dodge there. No Qs shall hit. Stargazing again. Looking to kind of capitalize on leaving Kaisa alone, looking to join any fight that needs him. That's going to be a good charm as he's waiting to just kind of sidestep it. But now, Spooky already up, but seems like no further commitment is going to happen. I do like that. That's quite controlled. Just let Ari shove those waves, let her be active on the map. The charm here, once again, won't really find the target. Beaker still looking to trade.
Yeah, now he's so low on mana. He does have the ulti. I don't know what's the cooldown specifically on Ari, but he's so low now. Nafkela turns the ult on, but he missed the second part of his Q.
Yeah.
Not being able to one-shot him completely. The hook does land, but they cannot do anything here. Everest is just so much stronger than Gisou is.
Yeah, 30 CS up, already having Yuntal scaling really well as the Skari kind of goes for it, does have the Conquerors, so in these long fights he's always gonna end up on top, but that's gonna be a safe recall. Also, I believe he has TP, I'm not sure, we're gonna see in a moment, so... Is the leader, as far as the XP plus level leaderboard is concerned. Niall immediately TP back, and now it's gonna be an all-out brawl. CC immune here for the Skari, but the ulti takes him away, and I think that's gonna be free pickup. The Skari now, the lead he had as well is now slowly gonna diminish. Seems like the trigger has been pulled. That's a nice charm from Steelback and the engage from Spooky, but no further. It seems like than Stargazing, who needed a flash. Avarice looking to go up front to deal some damage, but everybody here from the side of Harmony already disengaged. Beautifully done, but a lot of cooldowns here were used. That was a nice charm onto Stargazing, but will not be converted into any gold, as he too shall recall. 2,000 now is the gold lead for the side of Ted, as it seems like it's also going to be the second Drake, and it feels like it's a bit of a repeat for Spooky, who maybe this time around doesn't really have that many kills, but I know who does. Beaker had to have yoinked that ulti.
Yeah, yet again, I mean, kills are the same, but instead they are just micro-wise so much better on lanes, and objective-wise they are 2-0 currently. And not what you want to see, 3,000 golds, while kills are the same.
Yep.
Just goes to show individually how much they played it better. And of course now getting the first turret, while they had feats of warfare, meaning they do now have feats of strength.
Yep, Steelback spots the Skari.
Yep, but still, Harmony, Nagiso did finish his Reconciler, of course. The Skari having a Strikebreaker is also such a nice spike. The hook doesn't land and he gets punished. The Flay didn't work out to cancel the W, and now he just gets obliterated off the map. The Skari goes for the all-in. Here comes Fallen to help him out. The flash from Nile is not enough. He does get feared, and that's a nice takedown, but in the meantime, their Tier 1 on the mid is falling apart.
Ted's getting eaten away. The minions arrived as well, just in time for them to claim it.
Yeah, and 3 grubs are just so much.
That's also feats now. Well, they had it before, but still having the turret. Silas does have that ulti. Seems like it will be popped. The charm only connecting onto one person. It seems like the dash was enough, but there's just no damage. There's no follow-up. Gizou, he can't really get enraged. Still gets charmed. There's going to be a flash from Everest as they're going to lock him down. The ulti comes through, and that is just clean gaming from Team Ted. And it's looking like a rerun of the episode we've just seen before this one.
Yeah, they are so aggressive. They're just going in, and nothing that Team Harmony does is stopping them at all. And as you've said, it is looking like a replay of the last game, because Harmony, I don't know, they're just falling apart, and now they don't have the excuse of scaling. I mean, Kaisa is very nice late game, but I would say that that is pretty much it, and Zaya also does scale quite nicely. So I don't really know what they have going for them. Team Ted did take both grubs and 2 drakes, yep, so I don't know, and the tier 1 in top lane is going to fall as well, making it their 4th turret of the game, while Harmony did only take 1.
5,000 gold lead, 15 minutes.
Yep.
That is concerning.
Yeah, it really is. 10 major stacks now, one of Kela, granting him that extra move speed, making him much more slippery. Yeah, I mean, they're just doing this so schematically, like grouping up, taking a turret. Nothing that Team Harmony does can stop them. And they're just slowly tearing apart their base. I mean, they have already done this play to like, what, 3 or 4 turrets. Just all grouping up, taking it quickly and backing off.
Yeah, it feels like an ARAM game for them.
Yeah.
Like, just perma grouping, they know that there's just nothing that they can do.
Yep. Oh, he doesn't find him picker. He does get away. Stargazing with the lantern.
Yeah.
Still,
Gets him out of there.
yeah. The running on their part is quite good, but that's pretty much it. Stargazing is going to get caught now. The EQ does hit, the Rakan W as well. He does have flash, but he will not waste it as there's really no point.
Yep. Here comes another ARAM.
Yeah, the flag drops, everybody gets attack speed. Zaya is just so good with J4, she gets attack speed from the flag, from her W, and then she can just melt with the Nobori quick blades as well. Yeah, I mean, look at them, they're just a unit going.
All the brain cells combined.
Yeah, and oh my god, they have accumulated so much gold now with the third tier 2 turret that they have taken. It's 7.5k gold collectively. Saya, I mean Avaris and Avkela, 8.1 exactly, both of them. While their counterparts are sitting at the bottom of the gold, and Avkela 14.3 thousand gold. And now here comes Ted again, Stargazing will flash this time, but Nafkela is just too fast with the amount of dashes that he has, so gets rooted. But it's not enough damage coming in, but still, they did find a pick. Here comes the re-engage, but I don't know what they can do. They're just grouped up. Picker gets charmed, gets knocked up, and he's just dead as well. And I mean, what can you do?
Nothing. I think this is a cry for help. Harmony is getting dismantled now. CC immune from the soul off. Ended up picking up a nice bounty there, but
Yeah, but that's it.
the punishment for picking up a bounty is probably going to be an inhibitor.
Oh, they have the
Oh
rift.
no, never mind. It might just be the game.
Yeah, they were all in. Picker is back in 8 minutes, in 8 seconds. But yeah, already taking a turret. Yeah, this might just be the speedrun of the century.
Yep. Seems like Niall is just going to continue focusing on it. Avarice ends up taking him out here. Beaker couldn't even get to him in time.
Yeah.
And the Nexus, so long as this song goes. 18 minutes and 50 seconds is how long this game lasted. And, my god, stop.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Harmony just completely fell apart, unfortunately. What a performance also by Team Ted. They didn't lose to just anyone. They played so beautifully. I mean, they just show how well they work together this second game. And yeah, unfortunately for Team Harmony, they are now out of the tourney. So yeah, better luck next time. But it also means Ted have promoted to playoffs, so congratulations. They are now waiting for the Swiss stage to end, and we'll see playoff in, what, Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday, I believe, is when it's starting. Tomorrow is the last game we have of Swiss stage, so it's Team EFB versus Z10. But of course, we'll be bringing Amy back to talk to you guys some more about that. So we're going on a small break, and we'll be back with the bracket and everything. Whoosh. That's the segue.
Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. My Rari outruns your Odyssey. I broke it off cause I'm not settling. I gotta get for the lamp on the trip ketamine. Yeah, it's like that, I'm in the girls' mentions. Yeah, it's like that, she got the dimensions. I'm balling, they pay me attention. Going up, hydraulic suspension. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the studio. I'm with Lucho here. Wow, that was a quick victory.
Yeah, I don't think it's officially the fastest. I think we've had one more game that was just as fast, probably even faster. So this takes the second place, I believe, at the fastest games at the T-esports competition, which unfortunately no prizes on that one. But yeah, I think Team Ted just played way better. I think in the first match where they had a really difficult comp to execute, they ended up executing it perfectly. So when I saw them pick these really safe options, I knew it was kind of, you know, it was going to reach the end quite quickly because, as Scarf even said, it feels like there are no holes in their wall. And if they didn't show any when it was time to play difficult champions, I feel like once you pick the easier ones, the holes are just going to get even more minuscule.
I think they really had somewhere to be. And
Yeah.
that is in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
That is in the playoffs because we're almost there. So as you can see on the leaderboard of the Swiss, we just have another matchup which is going to be tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to have only one best of 3 series. It's going to be between Zero Tenacity and EFB. But look at all these beautifully magenta colored teams there. Wow, and only 2 of them were 3-0, but the well-deserved Team Excellent and Nightbirds, and then the rest, we've seen them play Mouth Breathers, maybe got off a little bit more easily
Yeah.
than the others.
Yeah, listen, luck is a part of competition,
It
so fortune favors the bold, as the saying goes. And this time,
Or
definitely...
the tilted, in this case.
Yeah. If not tilted, luck will deliver, I suppose. But yeah, absolutely, they made it in here, and I think there can really be no two ways about it. They are a good team, and of course, who knows what would have happened had they played, of course, their matches. But still, I think that in the playoffs, they are definitely one of the teams that are more so well-rounded. They got a lot of elo combined. Every single player is kind of insane, so definitely kind of deserving to be up there. Team All-In, Penguins, Team 10 Euro deal, which just now played, and Bobber Gaming, which was the victor of the first match of the day.
They
They're all
eliminated
in the
Tropic.
playoffs. But the final
So
treat,
close yet so far.
yeah, we're waiting on it tomorrow. It is officially the final day of Swiss. It's EFB versus Z10. It is going to be a banger. I really think that none of you are going to want to miss it because it's it's special for Swiss specifically to just be in that final stretch and the final 2 teams in the final stretch to make it to playoffs.
Oh
I
boy,
think it's going to be
a
wonderful.
lot of pressure. We saw with the CS2 when we got to the very last day, last round of the Swiss, it got insane. This is when we started having overtimes. This is where we actually had a decider map. So we are going to have fun tomorrow, but we're going to have even more fun starting Wednesday because then we enter the playoffs. On Wednesday, we start with the quarterfinals, so Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday will be in the semifinals. Wow, we got a lot to see in such a short amount of time.
Yeah,
So
a long
those 4
road ahead of
days-
us.
Yeah, it's going to be super extra. So everybody, see you again tomorrow, 6 p.m. We'll be here, Lucho, Scarf, and I with League of Legends, officially closing the chapter of the Swiss. Round 5 is done, and yeah, we're all waiting to see who's going to be the last team to enter the playoffs and finally step into the playoffs, quarterfinals, on Wednesday. Everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you, Sony PlayStation, for being a partner on this amazing project so we can watch all these teams and these players do what they do best, and that is show us their skill, whether it's solo queue or team skill. Thank you so much for that. And everybody, have a good night and see you tomorrow.